funny Valentine, sweet, call me Valentine. You make me smile with my heart. Your looks.
All right, guys. Hey, we are live with Pam, special guest, and my boo, Debbie. We're just showing Jonathan some love, pre-Valentine's Day love, because as you know, Valentine's Day is in the middle of the week this week. And hopefully most of you guys have something to do. And if not, love on yourself. You know, it's all about, it's a holiday for love. So if you're not going out on a date, if you have children, take them out, you know, show them some love, give them gifts, parents, grandparents, yourself, make it a spa day if you can take the day off, or if you go after work, do something for yourself to just show some self-love. You know, a lot of people look at, you know, Valentine's Day as, you know, a day that you have to have somebody, and that's not necessarily the case. It's just a day for love. And so today we're going to be showing Jonathan some love. Hopefully we can get some of you guys to join us. Now, when I say join us, I mean we will be allowing you guys to actually come on the panel. So like how me, Pam, and Debbie are here on the panel, you can be too. But we have ground rules. Now, Pam, real quick, can I post the share link in the chat?
That's what I did.
Okay. All right. So when I post the share link in the chat, there you will be placed in a waiting room. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like Zoom or whatever, where you have to wait to be admitted into the room. So if you're not admitted right away, don't get upset, don't panic. You obviously, if there's enough of you trying to do it, then we have to kind of navigate timing and how long each person should have to say whatever it is that they want to say. This is my first time doing this ever. And as you know, I rarely go live. So you guys got to bear with me. We might be having other content creators coming on as well. So that's another reason why we have to kind of navigate what it is that we're trying to do with allowing actual fans to come on and participate in showing some love. So in anticipation of that, we're not going to do a whole lot of presenting ourselves, because we want to leave some time for you guys to actually be able to say something verbally to Jonathan, you know, out there in the, you know, the lovosphere. We're going to try to limit you to maybe 2 minutes apiece, assuming that we get more than 2 or 3 people that want to come in and say something. So please adhere to those rules. You do not have to have your camera on. But if you don't have your camera on, please have a decent, you know, a placeholder picture of yourself so we can at least know who you are. So you have time to do that. So if you want to download StreamYard onto your phone, add a profile picture. So if you don't want to be live, like with your actual person, how you look today, just have a nice picture there so we can at least put a face with a name, because a lot of you don't use your real names. Okay, and that's fine, but we could at least see who you are, right? But take your time with that, because we'll probably be kind of talking ourselves for another maybe 20 or 30 minutes while we wait to see if other people want to join us. And yeah, and then, you know, obviously I got to monitor the chat too. So there's a few things going on. If you are part of the Jonathan Majors fan club and you have your red beanie and you plan to, thank you guys for the compliments, and you plan to be on camera, put on your red beanie. I mean, mine is looking a little crazy. I had to get an extra large one because I have my hair braided. And of course I can't figure out how to fix it. So my head is looking extra large today, but whatever. Whatever. Hey, Ada. Let me say hi. Hey, Ada. Let love reign. Her mommy, the universe, unapologetically simmer. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. Again, if you want to join, I did put the link in the chat. Let me know if you see the link in the chat, because I don't know if I can on my end. Because it's weird. Okay, it does show up in the chat on the actual YouTube app. So, yeah, if you want to come on and just say something, prepare your yourself on your end. Download. If you're using your phone, you have to download the StreamYard Guest app. Okay, StreamYard Guest. That's the easiest way to do it, because if you try to do it through your browser, it's gonna take forever. So just download StreamYard Guest. That link that I put in the chat is the link that you have to put into the app in order to come right into this particular stream. Okay. And let me just put that in the chat for the people that might be coming in a little late. Sorry, it's the teacher in me. When we had to when we had to go virtual for those few months when the pandemic first hit, yeah, this was literally me running off at the mouth. So sorry about that, and over explaining things. So I'm trying to break away from that teacher mode, but I don't want anybody to get confused and frustrated. So download the StreamYard Guest app. The link is also in the chat. And then that's how you get into this chat. Or you'll have to use the Safari browser and go through a whole bunch of changes with linking your Google account and everything else. It takes way too long to do it that way. So we want to kind of make it easier for you guys. Okay, Pam, you want to say anything so I can stop talking?
Make sure you all, whichever stream you're watching on, please hit that like button. Please engage. Please tell folks that we are over here. And I'm just ready to start the show.
All right. And Debbie is my buddy. And we're both moderators of the Jonathan Majors Fan Club. It's the only one on Facebook with about 16,000 members. Mm-hmm. From what I can tell, there are no other Facebook groups that are legitimate. So that's who Debbie is, and she'll be here with us during this stream.
Happy to be here.
All right. So y'all mute, because I keep hearing. I don't know why I'm hearing background. Okay, Monty, you said you love the red. We're doing the red not only for Valentine's Day, but it works out that it's also Jonathan's favorite color. He said that during a couple of interviews, and as you know, he wears a red beanie a lot when he's not acting. He's usually in a red beanie or some type of beanie.
The BC. Right,
so, yeah, it's called the Be Seen. Well, he calls it the Be Seen beanie, so he can be seen. Debbie, you got to mute. Yeah. All right. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to play a compilation video of fan club members in their beanies, and it alternates between us and him and his beanie. My daughter actually did this edit. I take no credit for any of the videography type stuff, because even though I taught it, I didn't learn it. I just taught it. Well, I learned it ish, but I was more teaching it than actually using it. All right, so let me make sure I have the right one.
You need to send it to me, because I need a good editor.
Oh, she's good. She's really good. Actually, she wants to be a film, director and things like that. So I'm actually taking her to LA at the end of April, because she got accepted into the Black Girls Film Camp. So guys, Google the Black Girls Film Camp, because it's a relatively well-known nonprofit, all expenses paid. Every year they get about 200 applicants, and they whittle it down to 10. And my daughter was one of the 10 that they chose. And she gets to create a short film that will be premiered in Charlotte in June. So in April, there's a retreat at USC at their film school. Saying all that to say, just to put it out there for anybody that has any family members that are interested in film, as long as they're under the age of 18 or 19, they can participate. It's called Black Girls Film Camp, and it's a nonprofit, and it's for Black girls, to get them into, the movie industry. All right, so let's play this, and then we'll get on to the next set.
My eyes have never seen someone so beautiful, so much charm, so much class. You're the first thought of each day. So appealing you are, you move through me, such a natural feeling, and oh, please don't take it away. Oh, I can't get caught up when I see you. You're so beautiful. I can't get caught up.
Right, so that was a video of all of the fans in the fan group that actually participated and provided photos. Hello. But hold on, give me 1 second. Pam, you can go ahead real quick because somebody, apparently the instructions that I put in did not translate in the same language as we all speak. So let me go back in. Cue sarcasm because I get so tired of repeating myself. That's a pet peeve of mine, but
That's all right. That's all right.
If anybody in the chat is in the fan group, could you please post the link that I posted in this chat to the fan group, because I can't. I could have swore that I put that information. Here's the link. It's in the chat as well. So if anybody from the fan group is in this chat, I think the universe is, and Ida Balzo is. So can you please put this link in the fan group comments under the post referencing this live? Then that way, if anybody from the fan group wants to join this live and be on the actual panel, that's how they get in. I actually posted 2 hours ago and yesterday the instructions on how to install StreamYard. So that's probably the best way to do it. All right. And please hit the like button. Yes, whomever's platform you're on, whether it's me or Pam or both, please hit the like button. Please share. Please subscribe. Everything. Okay. Let love, you want the link for the Facebook group. Okay, let me give you that really quickly. Not sure why it doesn't have. All right, so the link for the Facebook group will be in the chat. Keep in mind, please answer all the questions or else you will not be accepted into the group, because we're getting a lot of trolls and some bots. So we need you to answer the actual membership questions. We have had to, excuse my French, but this is a phrase that me and Debbie came up with, because it's usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays people act up. But we call it Toss a Bitch Out Tuesday. So every Tuesday, we got to toss somebody out because they up there making stupid comments. So because I've made this Facebook link public now, if you join and you're a troll, you will be banned. Okay? And your comment will not be seen, so you will not get the attention that you're looking for. If you do not answer the membership questions prior to joining, we cannot accept the join request, because like I said, we get bots that obviously can't answer the membership questions because they're not human. And then we also get people that are just trying to get in so they can say something crazy, so they don't have time to answer the questions because they're so eager to come in and stir up trouble. Thank you to Universe. Thank you. Let Love Reign. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Monty. And yes, Erica, I love that. Is one of my favorite songs from Tweet. And so, any opportunity I get to use it, I do. And let's see. So anybody in the comments, if you want to leave any, people, the universe, because the universe, this is her pseudonym, but she's the main one that tags us when she sees something. She's like, don't make me call security. And as soon as I see my name tagged in that Facebook alert, I'm like, uh-oh, gotta escort somebody out. So it's funny. Overall, it's a very fun and positive, very positive Facebook group. One of probably the only handful of positive Facebook groups. We don't have any drama. We don't have any arguing. We don't have nothing. It's very positive, very spiritually based, because a lot of us are spiritual, whatever that relationship is you have with God, whatever that religion is that you practice. We're all spiritual in that group. So we do post not a lot, but a decent amount of spiritual posts, because for those who are actually fans of Jonathan Majors, you do know that he is Christian, and he always talks about God, and his mom is a pastor, his dad is a deacon. So this is not something that's, peculiar to, the group. So, and if that's your thing, then come in and spread the love. It's all love in the Facebook group. And that's part of the reason why we're so strict as far as, letting people in and kicking people out, because we don't want people in there making it a toxic environment. We got enough of that going on social media, and we just want to be a safe space for not only Jonathan Majors fans, but his family, him, if, he sees it every now and again, we don't want. Okay, we don't want that. Hey, Blue, how you doing? Please join us, because you're an advocate. Get Dre, get Hines, if he should be awake, because it's about 7:00 his time. Get whoever, y'all come in here, because you guys, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even be on YouTube. Because I don't do this. I just came on to help you guys with your shows, and you convinced me to start doing this, and here I am. So I want you guys to come in and yes, Kat, everybody, y'all come in, because I know we've been really sticking strictly to business. Pam, myself, all the rest of you guys, we've been kind of sticking to business, and today it's just to show love. No, not talking about the case, not talking about anything legal. We just wanted to be relaxed and chilled, and where we can just express our appreciation for what he has been able to do so far as an actor and as a human being. And yeah, come in and join us. You don't have to stay. If you just want to drop in and say, how you actually feel outside of the content that you create, do that, because, he needs that. Pam wants to know. Chillmonger can come if he gets his hair to act right? He had a magical hair moment the other day. Pam is asking a question. What is you all's favorite Jonathan Majors project? You can answer that in the chat. Oh, just so you know, Debbie and I, we had these cups created. Now, I don't want you to think we're completely insane, okay? We're not completely insane, just halfway there. The reason for this was because, I'm not sure if you guys know, but Jonathan carries around a mug almost all the time, where it's practical, obviously. During the trial, he carried a mug. Okay, so this mug, if you can't see the quote, but I will read it to you. This is a direct quote from him as to why he carries that mug around. It says, "Now it means mind your cup. You're a vessel. Nobody can fill you up. Nobody can pour you out. You do that yourself." Okay, so that's falling in line with that self-love thing. You have to fill yourself up and love yourself. And this is just a reminder of that for those of you who, live by that. All right, so we got Lovecraft Country. That is definitely one of my top two. I want to say the second would be Creed 3. But I've seen Lovecraft Country at least 6 different times. And each time I see something different. Partially because I have ADD. So I can't ever sit through anything and watch it uninterrupted. And then the second part of it is because there's just so many details that you miss it, right? All right, so we got The Harder They Fall. Oh, yes, that's third. So that's top three. So we got basically top three: Lovecraft, Creed 3, and The Harder They Fall. I did like that. The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Yes.
I like The Harder They Fall because of the ruggedness of it all, them being outdoors, and all that stuff. That's what, just all of that. I wish there was a second part to that because it would have been great to have a conclusion.
I feel like that's something that they could probably consider.
Yeah, because it was a good movie, but it left on a cliffhanger, and I want that cliffhanger.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm totally with it. I'm totally with that. That would be fly. Obviously, they would have to, use some creative license with the characters in the story. But now it could just become like a Harder They Fall universe, if you will, right?
Right.
Where they can just keep, Yeah, Erica, you're talking about the
Loki series.
Loki, yes. Yes.
That's his last project.
Yes. I know, please. Creed, well, not his last project, his last released project. Let's correct that.
Yeah,
because in the name of Jesus, we are claiming that all those unreleased projects will be released and or finished, right?
Yes.
Creed 3 and Lovecraft Country, Blue. Yes. Love those. Top two. Pam says Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft, I mean, and you know what's crazy? My high school friend Sparkle, who's also a super fan, she talked about it for months on her Facebook. And I'm like, what is this? What is she talking about? And then I Googled it and I'm like, I'm not watching that. Like, what is this? And then during the pandemic, I said, well, I'm stuck in the house. I don't have anything else to do. And I watched it and oh my goodness. I want to say that's one of his best performances. But I'm biased because I like anything rooted in history and civil rights era stuff. So
okay. I have to do it because the silliness in me. But does Sparkle always get sparkle in your eyes? That song?
Oh yes, that song, yes. Sparkle. Yeah, that's her real name too. I have a friend named Smiley too. That's her real name. I have a friend named Smiley, Sparkle, and then another one named Lovely. So people were real creative during the late model era. Now I found out I'm a late model Gen Xer. Those parents are real creative with the names. All right, I see two. Well, I saw two people trying to join, but I guess they'll come back.
I went to college with two girls. They were sisters. Their names were Lady A and Lady B. So Lady Ashley, Lady Brittany.
Oh, wow. So the first name was Lady.
First name was Lady. Wow. And then Ashley and Brittany. Yep.
All right. That's a little extra, but okay, y'all go. Well, I actually had a student named Mr. So you had to call him Mr. McKinney because that was his name. So Mr. McKinney.
I know of two people. One's named Sir and the other one named is Princess. So that's about it.
Yeah, so you could always call them by some important name. All right, let's get through these favorite movies real quick. Lisa Williams is waiting. So we got Monty likes Kang. Yes. I like Kang too. I do. But just Kang. I'm not really I'm not going to even sit here in front. I don't know anything about the MCU. I've seen Wakanda Forever and I've seen Black Panther. I've seen, a few movies, but I'm not like into the whole franchise. I will watch it because there's an actor in it that I like, but I don't understand any of it. But I will watch Loki just for Kang. But if they don't bring him back, I'm not watching it. Okay, we got Loki and Ant-Man 3. We have Lovecraft Country. Devotion was really good. He did very well in Devotion. It's just sad. So when I say my top 3, I'm talking in terms of stuff that I can keep watching and not be sad. Let's put it that way. Because I tried watching Devotion again a couple of weeks ago and I couldn't finish it because it made me sad.
Yeah, I cried.
So I kind of stopped it right before he started flying and almost and left the earth. I couldn't watch that part. Mm-hmm. All right, we have, let's see, Lovecraft Country. Oh, she said we saw that one. Creed 3 and Lovecraft from Debbie. Yes. All right. Let's see. Oh, hey, Sparkle. Why don't you come in here, girl? Come in. Join the actual panel. This is Sparkle, a.k.a. God's gift. God's gift. That's my girl. We've been friends since high school. She's in the group, but she's really like incognito. But I'm gonna need you to come and show up. So put your red hat on and come on in here, sis. All right. Duddy K says he was the only reason I still watch Marvel shows and videos. This man is an awesome actor. The last black man in San Francisco. Yes. Now the movie was a little quirky to me, but I did like his monologue. That part in the movie where he gets to, stand on the stage and do his thing. I like that part. The rest of the movie was a little weird to me, but don't take my word for it. See it. I'm just particular about certain genres of film, and I can take independent films, but so much before I'm kind of like, oh, okay, this is a little too independent for my taste. I guess I have no class. Sorry. All right.
He did an independent film that I saw. I don't know the name of
Gully. Gully was good.
Yeah, Gully was good.
Even though they had him walking around with a lawnmower in most of the movie, but it was good. That was a good movie.
Yeah, yeah, he was living in the back with his mom.
Yes, he was in the back. He just came out of jail, and yeah,
it was a good movie.
I think the universe is saying that there's going to be a sequel to The Harder They Fall. He better be a part of it, because Jay-Z and Spike Lee are the two black men in the movie industry that know better than anybody else how they do us. So Jay-Z was actually part of the whole bail reform thing. So he knows how they do us in law enforcement. So they better step up and make sure our guy's good.
There's no sequel without him at all.
Yeah, right. And that too, because he's the main character. So
if you don't cast him, you can keep the sequel, because who's gonna watch it?
Nobody. I know I won't. Yes, The Harder They Fall. Let's see. Okay, I really liked Creed 3 too. He was amazing. I had to watch it multiple times because I was only focused on John. He stole the show. I did not pay attention to Michael B. Jordan at all. Guilty. Facts. Big facts.
Very.
You watch that movie and it almost looked when you juxtapose Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, Michael B. Jordan didn't even look real. He looked like someone had a character or something. He didn't look real beside him. He just everything. I don't know how to explain it. But both of them, because Jonathan gave me man, and Michael B. Jordan gave me almost like pretty boy type.
Right, and see, I'm not into that. I think that was not anticipated. Nobody anticipated that the grungy black guy was going to outshine the pretty boy, and that's always the case because in real life, that's what most black women want. We don't necessarily want the pretty boy. We want the rugged, that 400 years of oppression. We want that in the face. I know I do. All right, Derek Walker. I call my friends JM's older brother because he sort of favors him and dresses like him. I dressed him as He Who Remains from Loki a couple of years ago for Halloween. That must have been fun. That must have been really fun. Okay, Sparkle, I see you in. I see Lisa, and we're going to let you guys in now. Okay, remember the ground rules. We only have 2 of you in here, so until other people start trying to join, you can stay. But please mute your mic if you're not speaking because we don't want to have background noise or feedback. And again, you can stay until some more people try to come in because we don't want to have like 30 people up here all talking at the same time. Okay. And keep it classy. Keep it, we're all adults. I mean, we don't want harsh profanity, but you can be yourself. Just don't be up here dropping F-bombs and talking crazy. All right. All right. One more comment. I watched Creed 3 in a large IMAX screen. Jonathan looked great. It was awesome. All right. Okay. So I'm going to let in Lisa and Sparkle. When you come in, stay on mute for now, just so I can make sure I got everything on point. Because again, I this is my first time doing this. And then Lisa will speak first, since she's been here for a minute, and then Sparkle. All right. Hey, Lisa. Hey,
hi, ladies.
Sparkle,
How
I think.
are you? Oh my God. This is our platform, our Jonathan platform. Oh my God, this is so amazing. This is so that we can continue to show the love, continue to spread the love. And without that group that we have, y'all manage it so well. And it's so much positivity. We put so much great content in there to show the support. If anything, he knows if he comes to this platform, he's going to know that we are all there. We know it's all the lies. I've actually stopped reading stuff online because it's like I feel that it's someone out there that really hates him, and they're feeding that. And as long as we keep putting the positivity out there, we keep praying and we keep showing and we keep letting them know that there's no way this would have been out there. There's no way this is still happening.
Right.
But,
and for little old him, he started officially getting credited acting jobs, I want to say around 2017. He was not a household name until Devotion, which was late 2022. So he got a good 3 high-profile movies out before they put the kibosh on his career. I don't know what it is. From a spiritual perspective, I feel like it's a spiritual war against someone that is trying to do something right by us, in light of the gender wars, in light of all the stereotypes that we are presented with between the female rappers that are out here now, and a lot of these, the male rappers have been doing us a disservice for decades. But, now they're recruiting a lot because remember growing up, you only had 1 or 2 female rappers every 5 years. Now we have about 6 or 7 of them out here that are just throwing us down the black hole of slut culture, basically. And I'm not even going to sit here and try to couch words, and in between the slut culture, because of the slut culture, you have the gender wars because, don't tell me what to do. I'm supposed to be, taken care of and given a soft life just because I got a BBL and a good wig. I don't have to act a certain way. I don't have to, dress a certain way, So because he's here trying to rewrite the narrative, pump your brakes. We can't have that, And I personally feel like that's a huge part of what this is, in addition to a political agenda for Uncle Ruckus, a bastard child up in the New York DA's office. So, and yes, Jonathan is our Black Heath Ledger. He's awesome. Everything else aside, he's an excellent actor. He's a beautiful person inside and out, and very thoughtful, very conscientious, very appreciative. He's very, very appreciative of us, of this fan club, of you guys. And I just wanted to say that from the horse's mouth. All right, Lisa, if you give me 1 second, let me just read some of these comments. Remar. Until I see Magazine Dreams, I can't say what's my favorite. His whole repertoire is impressive, and I love it. Mr. Majors doesn't miss when it comes to the roles he pursues. The brother don't miss. He doesn't. He has a very good sense of what he can bring to a role, and that's rare because some people just take a job just to take it, and I think that's what kind of limits them too, because you pick the wrong role and you can't be seen outside of that. People don't unsee you as that character. And so far, he's been so good at picking his roles that we don't think of him as Tick every time we see him in a movie. We think of him as whoever he's playing at that moment. And that's a skill in itself. What do you think, Pam?
Girl, I was on mute and talking. I think so
Oh,
too.
sorry.
I think so too. I think when you juxtapose, let's say, Tick versus his performance in Creed, the willingness to do what you need to do to make those characters, because you have to be appreciative of someone who would manipulate their bodies the way he did to be able to play
Mhm.
this boxer, and then slim down a little bit so he can play Tang, and all of these little different things, and you appreciate that in an actor that is willing to go that extra mile to make sure that the character that they're playing is in three dimension, and you can really relate to that character.
Right. And like I said, and you don't ever see him as the key character he played before that. He's a whole new person every time. And I love that because you have some actors. Okay, I hate to. I'm not gonna put out names, but I don't know if you guys saw the Wu-Tang. I think it was on Netflix. The Wu-Tang series. I'm trying to think what else did he play in. He played in The Equalizer 2 as the neighbor, the young guy. He also played in the remake of James Baldwin's the movie where he accidentally strangles the white girl. I don't want to say any names because that's kind of whack, and we're trying to edify our black actors. But every movie he plays in, he's the same guy. That's my point. Every movie he plays in, he is RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan series. I cannot not see RZA. His countenance, his voice, everything's the same. He's just a different name in a different movie, but he's the same guy. And that's not Jonathan. Jonathan is a different person in every movie. I don't ever see him as somebody as the same character. Let Love Reign, yes, very spiritual. It's definitely spiritual warfare. Everyone loved him and his representation of black manhood, and then this hate train comes along. Absolutely, and it's a hate train going full speed. Black men have been jealous and hating on him about his looks and his fashion choices. And I'm sick of us sometimes too. Girl, you're not lying. When I was on Pam's show last night, I likened it to the way that they feel about Obama and the way that they feel about LeBron. They can't find anything wrong with them. So now you're going to just nitpick. Oh, Obama didn't do nothing for black people. Okay, he's not Moses. He still has, there's still checks and balances in place. He works for the federal government. He doesn't run his own show. It's not a dictatorship. Right. And then with LeBron, they're going to try to find anything on him. He grew his hair back, so you can't talk about that anymore. It's just always something. And it's like anytime we get somebody that represents us right, you're going to have that loud minority of black men and black women that are going to try to chip away at them at every possible opportunity. And we see it. You know what I'm saying? We see it. We know. Duddy K, yeah, the Wu-Tang thing was on Hulu. So if you want to just Google it just to see who I'm talking about, he plays RZA. He's the main character. That guy. If you see him, you'll know who it is. I told you not to say his name. That was, I clicked on it by accident. Pam put his name in the thing. Y'all didn't see that. Look. Pay no attention to the man behind the camera. All right, I'm sorry, Renee. Come on in. Come on, the camera, girl.
Oh, hello.
Come on, you cute. Stop playing. You cute. My girl's a bodybuilder. She be on it. Come on. Come on, girl. Put that camera on. Oh, just say what you gotta say. You go ahead. I'm not gonna mess with you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, yeah. I'm not really prepared to be on stage, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
My mom has breast cancer, so I'm not really, but I just want to just observe kind of what was going on. But I just want y'all to know to thank you for all you do, and Jonathan too, because I really appreciate his talents and him as a person, and I'm sad to see all this happening to him. I want to say that, yeah.
Yeah. No, It's not. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. This is not even just us being delusional and, hoping for something that's never going to happen. Everybody knows that this is just absolute absurdity. Again, you have a loud and wrong minority that floods social media. And unfortunately, the people, and this is with anything, politics, gender war issues, parenting issues. The people that actually have common sense are quiet, because we tend to always feel like we have to take the high road. The high road exists nowhere in my GPS. Okay. I deleted that a long time ago. So we have to get out of that, because sometimes our voices are not heard because we're trying so hard to be dignified and take the high road all the time, that we let the loud minority take over and represent us. And that's a big problem. It's a huge problem. And this is a very big reason why Jonathan is going through what he's going through, because we don't have enough of us out here going hard for what's right. Okay. And we have to do that. We have to stop being afraid of being, and no, don't sit on social media all day fighting with people. We're not going to do that. Say what you got to say and block them. But at the end of the day, make your voice heard. You know what I mean? Make your voice heard. Get out there, push out the positivity, question the discrepancies, question the stuff that makes no sense. You understand what I'm saying? And stop letting these loud, empty cans make the most noise.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I've told family, friends, people who, it's clear that they're not educated on it. You know what I mean? They kind of say ignorant things.
No, they read a headline and run with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And the craziest part about it is they put these words out there. They say all these things, but no one gets to ask the questions. Where did this come from? How did this come from all of a sudden? All this time, all these years, there's never been not one problem. Now everybody jumps on a bandwagon, and this is the culture we're in. We're in a bandwagon culture where they come in here and all of a sudden, oh yes, and this okay, but no one has ever complained. No one has ever put anything out there.
Right.
No one has ever said this. But now you got all these people. If it was that bad, trust me, it would have been out there because you saw this coming. But the sad part about it is, and I think it's more because of jealousy now, because they can't be a part of it. And we don't know the story from what happened with him and Grace Jabari, but the crazy part is that something was already happening before. So and no one asked the question, what made her record him? Where did that come from? If this was only one thing that happened in the car, now all this other stuff is happening, and all this stuff comes out to say you got a laceration, you was knocked out in a closet. Come on now, where are the simple questions? Right.
She wasn't. It was all lies, but
so everything is a lie. But we're not gonna worry. But we're here to support. We're here to do everything we can to keep that name great and continue to see him be great.
And he's going to be great. He's going to be okay.
I do want to say this. The reason why they can all become bandwagon naysayers is because of the Me Too movement, which is one of the problematic movements that has ever been created, because the general name of it is just dragged through the mud of how women and men can just get on and just say, oh, me too. He did this to me too. He did this to me too. Yep. Jonathan Majors is an African-American man. If he was hostile on these movie sets, as they say, he wouldn't have
gotten out one more job.
He does not have the skin color desirable to be this monster. But you see other actors of another skin color that are acting completely beyond the Oh, they're passionate. They're wonderful. Oh, they're method acting. But the simple fact that this Black man is method acting and showing up for himself and requiring a greater standpoint for the people he works with. Oh, he's problematic. He's intimidating. So that's all it is. You just use simple common sense, And
piggybacking off of common sense, again, he was a virtual nobody up until Devotion. Okay? in terms of people knowing who he, like if you say Jonathan Majors, they were like, oh yeah, I remember him. Nobody really knew who he was before Devotion.
Yes.
How is he raising hell like this and nobody's blacklisting him? Exactly. They didn't have nothing to lose by recasting him because nobody knew who he was.
But if you go back and look at all the reviews from every movie, if you read, and someone put one in our chat today, everybody that works with him said such a professional, it brings the professional out of them also in every freaking movie.
Go to the I always say this, and I have no shame in saying it. Go to the people of substance who have worked with Jonathan Majors.
Right.
Look at the rapport that they leave for him. I posted it in the fan group of Journey Smollett. There's also one that an actual gentleman who worked with him, he made a whole post of how Jonathan made him feel as an actor, working on the set of Devotion. There's another actress in the fan group, I think Princess Tiani. She's worked with him on 2 separate occasions, and she has said out of her mouth that Jonathan is the most respectful man she has ever encountered. Of her just being an extra in the movie, he included her like she was a main person. When he talked to her as a person. So when you see stuff like that.
And Dion Cole, he did one also. He said from The Harder They Fall, he's like, oh my God, he brought the best out of all of us in that movie.
Yes.
It's so
and again, a relative unknown, bringing out the best out of seasoned actors and seasoned movie industry professionals. And okay, oh, he had a tantrum, he did this, he did that. Okay, how many actors have done that? How many times have you had a tantrum at work? Did you lose your job?
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead. And people don't get upset on the job. Every day you can get upset on the job. Okay, so what are we saying? Everybody gets upset, but you don't get so upset that you lose your job from it. You just calm down, you say what you have to say, then you get back in character and you go back to work.
Take a break and go back to work. Go ahead, Pam.
I was going to say too, to go back early when we were talking about the loudest, the squeaky wheel gets heard and moved. I think the other thing too, you all had alluded to it, when they put these headlines out, question them. Okay, so if this happened, why is this not happening? I remember, like I said, we're not going to get too deep, but I put on there, it seems funny, like RS is quoting the NYT, who is quoting RS about these things. And somebody put up under my comment, well, they're not quoting each other. And I looked at it and I went back and I was like, RS is quoting NYT and then coming back and saying, oh, well, we were the ones that put this information out. So I'm just like, yes, they are. Everybody is in collusion with each other. Put this negative stuff. And it's your point about him being on the set. I remember everybody now is talking about, oh, well, he was the problem on Lovecraft Country. No, he was not. That was an issue with the showrunner.
The writer.
And so now, since nobody wants to research that, that's what I'm saying. When you see a headline, that's you have your own dissertation in your head from that headline until you start reading and researching, you start realizing anybody said that he was a problem. He was nowhere near the issue or a problem. But it's just the fact that now anytime that there's a problem and he is in the vicinity, they want to attach.
They want to pin it on him.
Because he even said it out of his mouth. Lovecraft Country, it was not given to him. He had to fight for that role. So you think that someone who has went through all the extremes to get the role of Atticus Freeman is going to cause problem on the set?
Right.
He's this big Denzel Washington or whatever. He literally said out of his mouth, I fought for that role. It was a dogfight. Those were his exact words. It was a dogfight to get that role. And he was honored to get that role. So if he did all of this, you think it's possible for him to do what they're saying that he did? Anything that's negative and they can create a storyline to continue to humiliate him, to continue to smear his name, he's going to be attached to it. It's just deplorable, and I just don't understand why people of his own culture is the main people who are just going with it.
But that's the crabs in the barrel mentality. Right. We got it bad. We got it real bad, and it's sad. And I commented the other day. I said that Satan don't want who he already has. And so Satan is fighting hard for this one. And we just gotta keep praying, keep interceding. Yes. Like I said, we're spiritual here. I don't know about Pam,
yes,
but
I am very
I'm very
it's
on
pure
top
jealousy.
of my A game. And
it's pure jealousy out
it's jealousy.
And it's so sad. And you can clearly see it. Anyone can see. You can see the anointing, and then you can see the evil. And it's a battle, but you know what battle is going to win.
Oh, we already know. And like the Bible says, where two or more are gathered, God is there. So we gotta gather together and pray for this man, because God is right there. He's at the end of the finish line. He's got to keep
people who are interceding for him, and that
keep interceding. That's all we can really do. Yes, let love reign. The high road is corny all the time to me. We got to know when to get down and dirty. Our ancestors that made changes got in the trenches, and that's the truth. We can't take the Martin Luther King route all the time, because all he got out of that was a bullet to the neck. You got it, sometimes you got it, and he ain't died for us to keep taking these L's. Okay? Right. We ain't got segregation. We don't have German shepherds. We don't have water hoses. We got power now, and we need to use that power. We have economic power. We have social power and influence. This whole country is run on our influence. First, it was run on our labor. Now it's run on our influence. And if we can't use that for good, what are we here for? What are we doing? What are we doing besides playing on social media all day? Now, I ain't gonna front. I'm on social media all day, but I'm about my business. You understand what I'm saying? I'm about my business. So we got to be about our business. Betty K says, if anyone else was as hurt as me, I cancel Hulu and Disney Plus after this. I'm better now, but this is they putting him through over some bull sugar. It got me so upset. Yeah, it's a lot. If you're a feeling person, I've learned that. I guess I'm an empath. I'm still learning all these new age from a spiritual perspective. It's called discernment or exhortation. There's different spiritual gifts. I guess in the regular world, it's called being an empath. So I feel very heavy. I feel stuff that is put on my spirit. I feel really heavy, and it actually affects me physically and spiritually. So I totally get what you're saying, and I know it's hard. Canceling Hulu and Disney wasn't even enough, because it's not just that. That's not his only bread and butter. It's everything else. Pam, Erica says, tell them about crowdsourcing we found about on Cats Live the other day.
Yeah. I did not know. You all talked about the Me Too movement, and what I want to say about that, it is the Me Too movement has been co-opted by very toxic women. They have a certain agenda, which is beyond what Tiana Burke had put out there for that. That Me Too movement started for young Black girls to be able to express and vent what they have gone through in regards to SA and physical abuse and everything like that. So I want to make that point clear. But what has happened is that it has been co-opted by women who have grudges or hatred or whatever it is they have with guys. Okay. And they want to be able to use that movement to beat down on and to hurt people. Now, I don't have a problem if it's something that's going on and you do that. But what we learned in Cats Live is there is a group of these women that go around. And so if there's a celebrity, athlete, or whoever is big in the business, if somebody has an allegation or something like that against that person, what they do is crowd surf, just like Cat crowd surf to get the money payment to pay for the transcript so that we can see the transcripts. There are women out there that are crowd surfing other women to pile on allegations. Wow. Things. What they do is they look for somebody that knows that person, and then they pile on all these things. So this is why you're starting to see all these uh, assistant such and such on the set here and on the set here, because they are in this, there is this group, an online group that does this, and you need, and it blew my mind that people would do something like that to be that thing. And I'm like, it would be interesting if you could just find one person and do 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon on them to see how that ties around all this other stuff. Because I was like, that is diabolical. That's
But it
diabolical.
makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. It makes sense, and it's so easy to do. It's not something that's it's super easy to do. So that makes total sense.
The guys
that makes sense why that it spread so fast. All of a sudden, it's just so bad. And that makes so much sense, because I'm like, wait a minute, how this makes no sense at all. But that's just like the Karens. They get away with it until somebody films them, or somebody shows them, or somebody gets the police on them, or whatever. It's, these people think, oh, you're entitled. They assume this and assume that, and they jump on it. But there's so many angry people. And if you say, if that's a group, it's almost like a cult. That cult, and they go find a person. In my mind, I believe they're paying some of these people.
Oh yeah,
I think they're paying these people.
They definitely are. Because I said this to Danny. Was it last night, Danny? It's mind-boggling to me, and I'm a legal professional myself, that you can take you can take something from a person and just run with it. Where is the police reports? Where is the documentation? Where is the medical records? Where is your eyewitnesses? I can literally call up the DA and say, oh, he slapped me, and I was in a relationship with him for 6 years, and we were engaged, and he did this, and my testimony mirrors what his accuser said. Anybody can do that. Where is your proof? Where is your ground? It's literally an assassination of his character. And and if they keep playing, there will be lawsuits of civil rights lawsuits and discrimination lawsuits and defamation. Like we said on this live a couple of times, the Lord is not pleased, and He will get His due.
Vengeance is mine.
He will do it.
Just hit my head when you said that. It just hit me. This is why. Remember, I kept talking about that S word, how that S word keeps circulating. Now I see why, because y'all are crowd surfing in the doggone internet, putting that stuff out. Now everybody has an incident with the S word. It started making better sense now. But yeah, I learned about that crowdsourcing with victims.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Now now you can see. Now we have to navigate around it. It's time for people to come out and like, no, we have to have that fight for it now, because if we let them get away with it, they're gonna continue to do it. But that's just like in any cult or group. As long as you let them scream, you let them holler, you let them keep saying that, they find the weakest link and get them to, oh, woe is me, and yes, this happened. No, none of that happened. No, none of that happened. But you get that person, oh yeah, no, there's no way this would have been out. This would have been out.
And just like the universe said, you're talking about Yale.
Right. But that's
I'm from New York City.
But that's that jealousy too. So you gotta realize, no matter how great you are, I don't even like to use the word, everything that we try to accomplish, someone tries to break down, because we're not worthy of it. We're worthy of everything that is out there for us. Anybody. Yeah. So it shouldn't be a color, a culture, a background, or anything. If you're great, let that person be great. There's so much jealousy in the world. You gotta just go ahead and I live by this myself. I live life to the fullest. And when you live life to the fullest, you got people that don't like you for no reason. Why? Yeah. If I've never done nothing to you.
Your spirit is pure.
Right.
You disturbing their demon.
And then some people, that bothers them, but you have to learn to outgrow it. And you can see that in this situation. Everything that this man has done, you can see it. It's pure jealousy, and it's spewing out. It's like the weirdest. It's not weird. It's just part of life. It's a sad part of life. But you can overcome this, and you can go out here and you can be better and greater, and you let that go, and you live your life to the fullest. Go out there and do what that God-given talent is not going to be wasted. It's not. It can't be
It's
wasted.
not.
No,
He's good. He's good.
It's gonna be good, and this may have stopped him, but when I tell you that his comeback is gonna be greater than his setback,
right? But that's just trials and tribulations.
And then,
Everybody.
Like you just said, you say it disturbs his demons. Like even in the fan group, I think it was this one girl was like, "Oh my God, it's too much." Two actually, it's like, "Oh my God, what is all this praying? I have to leave." Bye, Satan. if praying and talking to and uplifting someone is becoming cult like to you, honey,
then you gotta go, because clearly you haven't been here long.
Like, we're sorry that it's disturbing your demons. So you can go.
You and them, pack it up. Bye. Toss the bitch out Tuesday.
Come out.
Shut a bitch down Saturday. All right. So back to Yale. Perfect point. I'm from New York City. So we have what we call the New York metro area. I'm sure every state has their metro area of other states that people commute from, live, work, or whatever, right? So I'm guessing Chicago, you got Indiana and Wisconsin, right? That people might live in Chicago but work in Wisconsin, or live in Indiana and work in Chicago. So in New York, you got Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. So you have a lot of people that live in Connecticut, work in New York, live in New Jersey, work in New York. So Connecticut, to me, is New York. I've worked in Greenwich. I've worked in Stamford while I lived in Westchester County. So I'm saying that to say, I know the type of people that live in those areas. Connecticut, even though it's part of the New York Metro, is still considered New England. New England would be your Bostons, your Rhode Islands, your Maines, your New Hampshires. Very racist. Very, 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 very racist. That's probably why Lovecraft, a lot of it was taking place in Massachusetts. Very racist. Okay? So I'm saying that to say he would not have gotten away with being on Yale's campus acting a fool. All right? They would have tossed his ass out drawers first. So I don't understand how people are saying, oh, well, he was in Yale doing this, that, and the third. And they didn't stop him there. They let him actually graduate and get to make movies.
He wouldn't even made it out of there. He wouldn't have made it out of there.
Let me put it in perspective for you all. That program that he graduated from, they only graduate up to 30 people out of that program per year. Okay? And in that program, he was one out of maybe 3 or 4 Black folk in that program. If somebody is running around there, running amok, causing all these issues and problems, he would have been gone. And here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. The stuff that they were talking about, it sounded like horseplay, because the people. If I'm going to refer to RS, because I don't like to say their name, in that article they said that the guy was saying, "Well, we started the stuff first, and then he gave them pushback behind it. Now they're upset. Oh, we can pop you and hit you as well." So now that he does a little horseplay back at them, he's being aggressive. He's being mad.
We don't get the benefit of just playing.
But jealousy on every level.
But to shut it all down, when they reported that and they contacted Yale, Yale said, we have no comment and we do not participate in the downpour of our students. There it is. If the university is saying, no, we're not going to participate in this he say, she say, we stand behind our graduates. There you go. There you go. So
right.
I do want to say this. I see a lot of people asking to join the fan club, but they're not answering the questions. It will automatically decline your membership. So please go back and answer the questions.
Get back in there and answer them questions. Right. Get back in there. Go back out. Get back in.
We don't want bandwagon. We don't want them bandwagon people coming in there.
Yeah, we can't be having that in there.
We can't have that.
You know, we tired of making up days of the week to kick people out.
It's gonna be every day.
We on Fold a Bitch Friday now, so you know you get. You're gonna get folded out of there. Don't get in there and start playing. Don't get in there and start playing. So y'all better go answer them questions. All right, Erica says she has exactly. I just stopped teaching after 7 years in May of 2023, but literally, and I taught at-risk kids. That's the population I love. Kids that grew up the same way that I grew up. Fights every day. The AP actually complimented me on my upper body strength because I was breaking up 3 and 4 fights a day simultaneously, holding one back, holding another one in a headlock. My point is, we teach kids to de-escalate because when you're in schools like that, we deal a lot with social emotional. We actually would have once a week. We would have to stop during our normal first period class and spend the whole period talking about social emotional skills and how to navigate through conflict and things like that. And literally de-escalate. That's what we teach children to do. And that's exactly what Jonathan did. And we saw that. And still, child, I don't know. We weren't supposed to be talking about this, but all right, MCU would never hire him if he, right, exactly. He wouldn't have even got past Lovecraft if he was really acting the way that they claim he was acting, because word travels fast. Again, his name was not a household name. They had nothing to lose by recasting him. Nobody knew who he was. So why let him keep going if this is what's really going on? And the numbers that they're saying it is. Because again, I don't doubt that he might have gotten upset here and there. Everybody does. I don't doubt that he might have gotten loud with somebody. Everybody does. But to the point where, it should impact your career and it didn't.
Everybody gets upset in any situation, depending on what it is.
Right.
And everybody knows how to come down from it. So, but this is the world we live in. Everybody's sensibility is so soft. Oh, every time we have to be on pins and needles. I'm not being pins and needles on about anything. I'm living my life. If you don't like it, you get out of my space, I get out of your space, and we don't have to talk. Period.
Right.
That's just the way it should be. I'm not going to be apologizing because I ate an apple and you ate an orange and you prefer orange.
Right. But that's literally where we are. The entitlement mentality, the participation trophy era, where just because you exist, you should have what everyone else has. You should be celebrated. You should get this amount of pay because you're here and you're existing and you're sucking up good oxygen. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to work for it. You don't have. And the same way you're supposed to have it because you exist, it's supposed to be taken away from you as well. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. They do. And they're not, because we're out here. Okay, well, that's a real Marvel fan. 35 and alive. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button and share. Hit the likes. Hit the likes and share and subscribe to our channels, especially Pam, because she's on this joint every day. Y'all might get once a week out of me, but Pam is on it. She's in the trenches out here. So y'all definitely subscribe to Pam. Subscribe to me as an honorary mention. But Pam is out here every day creating content for y'all, sometimes twice a day. So get in there and give her her flowers. Erica, I don't know much about Marvel, but yeah, that's what Pam is agreeing. So she must know.
Because Marvel has been the entity that will kick you out with the quickness. You sneeze wrong, they kick you out. You write a bad tweet, they'll kick you out. That whole Disney universe is like that. So
Marvel has selective outrage because their main character 5 years ago, Thanos, legit the same thing, and he got to play every single last one of his roles.
Exactly.
And if you want to go further, we can go to Robert Downey Jr. He had a tumultuous career before he got himself together.
You can go to
people bring him up. I'm only sensitive to that because you got to remember Robert Downey Jr. is old enough to be Jonathan's dad. So you have to understand that era, there was no social media. All we heard was what was put in the news. So you didn't have this this, like she said, crowdsourcing. You didn't have the Me Too movement. You didn't have people sitting out there playing Monday morning quarterback trying to bring him down.
Okay, well, you can go with
Hawkeye. And Hawkeye threatened to prune his family from the timeline. And the only reason
now that guy, yeah,
he's getting
that's Jeremy Renner.
An ice machine or whatever it is he got ran over by. That's why he's gotten all this empathy and sympathy, because he got run over by an ice machine, supposedly pushing his nephew out of the way. I don't know what he got. Zamboni. What is that thing that does the ice, that kicks the ice out of the way?
Right. It was getting the ice in the road. He went under it. He went under it and survived it. Yeah.
Well, that was karma. Next. Yeah. All right, let's see. Ida says a lot of people are jealous and envious of him because why do people find him attractive? And we talked about. I went on my soapbox last night on Pam's. I don't know. Again, I'm a late model Gen Xer. I thought I was a millennial for the longest. They've added it. Now I'm a Gen Xer again. Pam is like, she's with me now. I'm back in vintage mode. So that being said, because I'm vintage, I don't understand the confusion as to why Jonathan Majors is attractive. When I was growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, the blacker, the better. Okay? The stronger the features, the better. We had Wesley Snipes. We had Morris Chestnut. We had Taye Diggs. We had Michael Jordan. We had, name some. I'm sure you know some, Lisa.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
What was that? Played in South Central. Wasn't his name like Glenn Plummer?
Oh no, Glenn Plummer ain't cute. Back up. Slow down.
He's not, but he was I never said he was cute, but he was in a lot of things back in the 90s. Jonathan's father in The Harder They Fall, and he played the white.
Oh, Delroy
Lindo.
No, not him. The one who played in Waiting to Exhale. He played Bernadette's husband who left her. He played
the original farm man, Allstate guy. What's his name? Dennis Haysbert.
Oh, yes.
Oh, then I had the biggest crush on Dennis.
Okay, I know you're talking about
Dennis Haysbert, the really nice looking chocolate dude. I think he does Allstate. Allstate commercials. Dennis Haysbert, black features.
About in The Harder They Fall, Jonathan Majors' character's father.
He's not chocolate though. You talking about
the original one? Yeah, the one in the beginning when he was a child.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about. He played in Lean on Me. He played in a few things, but he's not chocolate.
Look at John Amos. John Amos played in a lot of movies also.
John Amos. You had Richard Roundtree in the 70s. I mean, black men with African features have been the wave for decades.
So this is nothing new. That's a narrative they put out there. That's a narrative.
No, I'm gonna tell you why the narrative is out there. The narrative is out there because we're in this era now where everybody wants to look racially ambiguous. And if you don't look racially ambiguous, or if you're not mixed, or if you're not this or that, then you're not attractive. We have women out here wearing hair of Indian women who literally sacrifice their hair on their temple floors for religious practice. That's getting swept up by the Chinese and manufactured and shipped over to these Korean hair stores because we want Malaysian and Indian hair. Okay, so the reason why we see Jonathan Majors' blackness as a problem is because we went back into regressing into colorism.
They went into
they were regressing into colorism. Where everybody wants their kids to look a certain way. So you would rather have a trash baby daddy than to have somebody that treats you right that looks a little too black. And the men the same way. The men are having the same issues where they don't want any darker women. They don't want thicker women. They don't want women with certain features because that's not. But that's because of social media. So let's not get it twisted.
That's not real life. That's not real life.
It's not real life.
That's not real
it's
life.
not real life. I have not a day. Well, I'm not. When I was in middle school, I did have a thing for Puerto Rican guys, but from the time I hit 6, but that was like a year.
But that was your thing.
It was like a year of my life because I grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood in the Bronx. Well, once we left Harlem, we went to the Bronx for a few years, and it was a Puerto Rican and Italian area. So I really didn't have a lot of options. But once I got to high school, oh yeah, black. The blacker the better, and ever since. So I don't know why so many people are confused by why people are finding him attractive. He is an attractive black man. Muscles or not, clothes or not, he's a nice looking black man. If I saw him as a child, and we have seen pictures of him as a child, he was a handsome little boy. He was not an ugly little boy. Now, where he grew up at, they might have said that, but in the real world that he lives in today, he's not unattractive.
In my mama's era, they had Miles Davis and
Miles Davis, yes. You couldn't even see. All you saw was teeth and eyes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Miles Davis, Sidney Poitier. All the Temptations.
Yeah.
All 5 of the Temptations.
Yeah.
All the new Johnny Gill, Bobby Brown.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Remember, they were black.
Right. We love some Bobby Brown.
I love me some Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill.
Yes.
My mom just texted. She said Barry White. I'm like, ma'am.
Okay, now y'all wild now. Time out in Chicago. Y'all gotta get time out. Mute. You gotta go. Chicago, it's too cold up there. Y'all wilding out up there.
His wife is great, but yeah.
Barry White and Glenn Plummer are not on the list. Okay. Cut and scene.
But he was sought after, though. I mean, let's be clear.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Because if you could sing, baby, that was you were halfway in if you could sing.
Oh yeah.
You can sing and you can dance. Oh baby,
you were in. Yep. I'm trying to think. Oh, we said who was it that we said last night, Pam? It's on the tip of my tongue. I literally almost said it and forgot.
You talking about Leon?
Leon, yes. Leon. I had the biggest crush on Leon from the 5 Heartbeats when he played in what's the basketball movie, Above the Rim? Tupac. I mean, like, I'm like confused with the selective memory on the Chocolate Brothers here.
Biggie,
the Temptations. The Temptations.
All right, you about to get a timeout too. I know you didn't just say Biggie Small.
Now, listen, no, not Biggie.
They were into
absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
like
How is it that you're into Biggie, but then you want to act like Jonathan Majors is not a handsome man? You can't make it make sense to me.
And you see the women Biggie was pulling, right? You see who Biggie was pulling, and he was 300 pounds, cockeyed. Jonathan Majors is ugly. Oh, okay.
When they said about Jonathan's nose being big, I was like, Idris Elba has a big nose too, but he
Idris Elba's a whole African.
This man alive, and he is very gorgeous, but so is Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
Look at John Boyega. You got John Boyega out here.
Yeah, he's here.
And what's
Daniel Kaluuya. Is that his name? Daniel Kaluuya? Yeah, he's another one. I love him to death. He's just a little too short for my taste, but I love them lips and those teeth. Woo.
Yeah,
what is Adas Hodges? Adas Hodges. Is that
Aldous Hodge? Yeah.
And Mahershala.
Mahershala. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have so many beautiful ones, and
so many.
They're spewing out here about him. They can go sit down.
What is it? Damson Hansu?
He was another one from the 90s. Yes, gorgeous. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. All of these, 90% of who we named were from the 90s and early 2000s. So I'm like I said, I'm lost as to why everybody's like, well, why does everybody think he's attractive? Because he is. That's
because they put that narrative out there to say that this person is not, that he's not attractive. That's a lie. And so now people are running with it. So if you
they don't have
if you
anything else
know
on
that's
him.
someone you don't like, you don't pay attention to it. But then you're gonna read something and run with it, and then chime in on all this negative chatter, and you probably don't even know who the person is. Go sit down.
But just want to jump in the comments and give
Right,
you a
and that's
little
what they're
2 cents.
doing.
And that's the play, because if you can say somebody is ugly, then they get into that bias or stereotype. He's that big, mean, ugly black man that's doing EFG.
Like but that's the same way they like to label an angry black woman. It's not. That's not the case. It's just when they don't like something about you, they're quick to put something out there to say that this person is that way. Which most people with common sense know. If you read between the lines, there's a lie in there.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah. They're just instantly threatened. They're threatened if you're a certain height, because I'm a taller black woman. So by default, and I have a strong presence and a strong way of speaking. And by default, oh, are you upset? Are you angry? Girl, get out my face before I do get upset and angry.
I'm the same way. I'm hyper by nature, and my hyper is fun, but that nice person can change just like this.
Oh yeah.
Like, hold on. I'm not that nice, but I really am.
Pump your brakes. Slow your roll. Without doing research, right. How much does the media need to lie on us before folks realize we must dig deeper? Right. And I say this all the time. We have so much access to free information, and we seem to be dumber than we were when we had to go to the public library and use the Dewey Decimal System. Like, how can you literally be a click away from information and know nothing?
Because they go to the first click, read the negative instead of going to the source first, find out what's going on, then decipher from that information that's out there. Because if you're a real researcher, you go through more than one. You don't just read the first thing you see.
Right.
The first thing you see can be a lie.
Right. And it usually is, because that's the one getting the most clicks and the most feedback.
Traction.
So it gets put up at the top of the search.
And then what people go do? Go share it. Go, oh, look what I saw. Look what happened. And then a month later, it was a lie.
Right.
The lie spreads faster than the truth. The lie will spread faster than the truth. And also, that's critical thinking. You have to question everything. If something doesn't make any sense, question it.
Question it.
Right. Headlines, even when you look at certain headlines, like if you talk about what's going on in the world now, you would swear that there's nothing going on where thousands and thousands and thousands of people, women and children, are losing their lives. Why? Because of headlines. Headlines make you believe that that's not what happened. Headlines will tell you that all certain people are bad, and people roll into those things, but they don't do the research. And to your point, Danny, it is amazing when you have all of this information. You can find all this information, but you feel comforted in the lie, because again, selective outrage.
Selective outrage. Right. It's crazy, and I always say this, and I don't know if anybody gets the connection, but and it's scary if nobody does get the connection, because that means you're not opening too many articles, and that's scary. But did you notice that every time you open up an article, it tells you before you even start reading how long it's going to take you to read it? Yeah. It says 1 minute read, 2 minute read, 5 minute read. That just speaks to how they realize that nobody wants to read. So we have to warn you before you start reading. It's going to take you at least 2 minutes to get through this. And most people, and myself included, I can't even front. If it's something that I'm not truly interested in, and I see it says 5 minute read, I won't even read it. But that's because I read for a living. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't have that 5 minutes to waste on that. Let me move on to something else. But if it's something worth reading, obviously I will read it. But that's the crazy thing, that they have to warn you now. This is 2 minutes long, so I don't know if you want to stick around beyond the headline. And that's why so many people only go for the headline and the sub headline and then move on. You know?
And then they don't get the facts.
They don't get the facts. They look at other people's tweets and comments, and then Are you talking, Pam?
I am. Can you hear me?
We couldn't.
No, go ahead. Start again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You muted again.
Am I muted?
I mean, it's going in and out. Like it's.
I'm sorry. It's my mic. I gotta do something with this mic. What I was saying is, I have seen people write dissertation in comments under a headline, and then when you look at it, it's like, did you read the article? Because the headline doesn't match the article. No, it's about this and that. You've written a whole dissertation about what you thought this article meant, but you didn't read the article, and so now you're looking, and I'm like, okay, people like that. I just like
This is the world we live in. And I've actually written a dissertation, and I understand how much research goes into that. Listen, Denise,
months, just on one particular
years.
I'm saying
years. Years. It takes years to write a dissertation. That's why I'm a PhD candidate, because I have to take a break because I'm tired. Because my PhD is in law and public policy, going to be. So I have to take a break. It takes a lot of research. We have Simone coming in. Let me read a few more comments before I let Simone in, because we kind of got backtracked on the comments. Denise says, on Kat's video, I found the phone in the Lucero body cam footage. Just for your information, the glass with the straw on the police cam had a phone beside it. I'm not sure what phone. I guess DM me what phone you're talking about, because I'm not sure what we're talking about here.
Said that she took. I think that's the phone they're referring to.
Oh, the phone that she took and didn't give back. Okay, I got you. Yeah. He was killing those 3 variants that we met so far. Exactly. Loving them doesn't make them perfect. You have to cherish them and overlook their flaws. Bars. Exactly. And we say everybody has flaws. Nobody on this planet is perfect.
No one.
All right.
God made no one.
So if any of us were being measured by the standard that they're trying to measure Jonathan by, we would all be unemployed and homeless, basically. He just has the advantage of having a lot more money than we do. But if we were being held by this same standard that they're holding him by, we would be panhandlers right now, because everything would be taken from us over the slightest infraction.
He can't even breathe hard, and they're saying
he can't breathe too hard without them saying that he took too much oxygen from society.
All right, so on this, and he really intimidated me, really.
Right.
Go sit down. You coming home drunk every day, but he's intimidating. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
Right. Okay, we got 2 more people coming in. So, one fell off. But Sparkle and Lisa, y'all can mute, because we got Simone coming in, and then I have one more person that wasn't, but they fell out. But let me do these comments real quick before. Duddy K, I think it was a combination of that, but the prevailing argument was that the writer, the woman that wrote the script, she was creating a toxic work environment. You can go ahead and Google it. That's what I don't know. She might be another Jonathan Majors victim type thing, where they're just trying to, but she's been doing a lot more work since. So I don't know, but they said it was her, that Misha Green, I think her name was. They said she was the reason that it didn't get, because she created a toxic work environment. I don't know. I didn't know her before Lovecraft, so I couldn't, I don't know. All right, so Pam, I'm gonna get to your question, Pam, and have the 2 people that are trying to join answer. But let me get so Denise is doing some investigative journalist, so we'll get back to that with the phone and the pill bottle thing. Ada says, I don't like the fact that it's now easier to just lie on him. When the news broke, so many people act like they knew him and lied, then they back down. They don't want to get sued, right? Because they can be for defamation. But he does have an attorney that deals with that type of thing on his on his team. So I feel like that's coming up next. First it was 40 people, now it's 20, now it's down to 2. All right, so Denise is still talking about the body cam footage. Yes, Wesley, exactly. Wesley Snipes. Only reason why I wasn't really checking, and I actually met him when I was 17. And when I realized I was taller than him, it kind of dashed all my dreams. I'd still need my mom to find those pictures because that was back in the when you had to actually print picture days. And I met him. My dad was a professional musician, and we would get to go to concerts and be backstage. So that particular time, I met Wesley Snipes, Tevin Campbell, and the older Wayans brother. What's his name? Keenan. Keenan's very tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4". But Wesley was like here to me, and I was 17. I was like, well, damn. Next. And I had, that was really disappointing. But yeah, I used to like Wesley Snipes, but I'm tall, and when I can't do anybody my height or shorter.
They used to say that if someone was if an actor was claiming that he was 6 feet, he was actually like 5'9", 5'10".
Right. So that's why when I saw that Jonathan kept referring to himself as 6 feet, I was like, but he is really 6 feet. He might be a little taller than 6 feet because, with, like I said, with the majority of my shoes, I'm 5'11", and he was still a little bit taller than me with my shoes on. So he's actually 6 feet. So I'll give him that. I'll be sure was fleeting. Because that light skin never faded out with Christopher Williams. Christopher Williams held it down for about a few months, and then it kind of went into, Christopher, the chocolates always got to play. Yes, Dennis did play the first black president. I think that was that show with Kiefer Sutherland. I can't remember the name of it. But he played the black president. Damn, Denise, you still talking about that body cam footage? I need you to DM me all this because we're trying to focus on the Love Fest today. Jonathan Majors is fine. I don't know what Cat Williams or anyone else. Cat Williams is a hater. He got a lot going on with him. We ain't even going to give him no shine right now. Teeth and eyes. Yes, Andre, teeth and eyes. That's what I need, teeth and eyes. Jonathan Major is definitely fine and attractive. Yes, he is. Johnny Gill was, but he got a little fluffy and greasy. Somebody said,
Hey, about the fluffy and greasies now. We won't get
you ain't greasy. You ain't that fluffy either. I'm talking about Johnny.
Bobby Brown. Don't be getting on the fluffy and greasy.
Yeah, Bobby Brown swole up too. I went to that last night. He a little swollen. He need to let go of the sodium too. He a little swollen.
I said he need that water pill. They all
he need a water pill. He actually lost some weight because they came to Tampa. Their last show in their concert thing last year was in Tampa, and he actually lost a lot of weight by that point, I guess, from all the dancing and stuff. And he was actually doing the moves a lot easier too, because remember they were posting videos of him not huffing and puffing and not able to do. He was doing good that last night.
He actually
Teddy Pendergrass. Yes, Teddy Pendergrass was another one. That's more my mom's era, but yeah, he was another chocolate brother that everybody liked. Remember Billy Ocean? Billy Ocean, he was nice looking, but he's my mom's era because he's like 70. He's in his 70s now. Remember, even though he was chocolate, but he had a lot of ambiguous features. Philip Michael Thomas. Remember him from Miami Vice? You wouldn't know, Debbie. I don't even think you was born when Miami Vice came out, but we know.
Yeah. You also you remember what was it? Keith Sweat and Gerald Levert and all of them?
Yes, Gerald Levert, Keith Sweat, chocolate. They said Barry White was the walrus of love. I'm done. Not a walrus.
Oh, no.
I'm done.
Do y'all about to get okay? I can't. I gotta hold on.
Wow.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry off my eyes. playing. Oh my God, I'm turning red. Y'all gotta stop playing in the comments. All right.
You're wrong for that.
Oh,
Wrong for that.
Oh my God. Hold on. I gotta catch my breath. My eyelashes are gonna fall off. I'm turning red.
You are turning red.
Oh my God. I was not expecting that. That caught me off guard. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. I'm gonna need you. You on timeout, Derek. You can't come back in the comments for about 30 minutes because you didn't mess me all up. I'm sweating. I didn't turn red. My lash is about to fall off. All right. Yeah, Duddy, look up all those names and you'll see that they were very chocolate and beautiful black men. Somebody said big. Okay, Derek, I'm done. That's you. I'm not even looking at that comment. Boys to Men, yes. What was his name? The tall. I think he was the bass. He sung the bass in the group. What's his name? Michael.
I think his name was Michael, but he's no longer in the group because he's
not in the group anymore. But yeah, he was nice looking. To Michael McCary. Oh, she said it right there. Duh. Michael McCary, yes. Chadwick Boseman. He was a little caramel frappuccino, but yeah. Caramel macchiato. That's what he was. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is something new is what my point is. They're trying to, set us back after 30 plus years of celebrating dark black men with African features. Now they're trying to, set us back into hating ourselves again. Like I said, with all this, racially ambiguous trends, with all these racially ambiguous trends that are going on with how we, dress and how we wear our hair and all this contouring where we're taking our noses down. And I have on no makeup, right? I don't wear makeup. I just have on lipstick, some lashes, and I did a little bit of blush today to go with the red. But normally, as you know, I just usually have on lip gloss. But I'm saying that to say,
I was saying, what is the man's name that played in? He played opposite of. This girl is in my Jill Scott. She was Jill Scott's husband. And
the nasty guy. What's his real name?
Rucker. Rucker.
He was
but the guy that played the husband that was mean to her. I can't remember what his real name is. But yeah, him too.
I forget his name.
Yeah, he's a nice looking guy too.
Yeah, Omar Epps. He was like the
Omar Epps. Yes. Yeah.
What is it?
We had all of them.
Remember Bokeem Woodbine?
Bokeem Woodbine. Yep. You got Wood Harris. You got it. That's why I'm like, there's a new thing where they're just trying to make us dislike ourselves and dislike our black men. And part of that gender war assault is now calling anyone that looks too ethnic ugly. Because if you notice too, Pam, in a lot of these gender war conversations, you see a lot of women saying, "Oh, I'm going to just get me a white man." Mm-hmm. A lot of those conversations go left and have that ultimate moral of the story. So as long as you keep seeing black men as ugly, you'll see white men as the prize.
My deep dive is coming on that because you would be surprised as how the trend changed. But my deep dive is coming. It's coming.
All right. Well, let me know. I'll stay on task though, because I can go off on a tangent. And I'm from a very biracial family. Our last Caucasian family member was Oma, and she died last December, and she was from Germany. So. And that's on my dad's side. So now everybody's black again. But the point is, I understand the dynamic better than anybody else. So I get it. I totally get it. And I get how colorism is destructive. I remember my great-grandmother saying you can't trust dark-skinned people. It's deep-rooted. It's a nasty thing. And it needs to be discussed. It really does. All right, let me get through these. Let me get through some more of these. Simone, you're in. Sorry. Derek, you can come in as long as you don't crack no more jokes, because you almost messed me up for today. And you threw the whole vibe off, had me crying and everything. I ain't laughed like that in a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna have to put it back in the chat. For anybody else that wants to join, give me 1 second. Again, like I told you, this is my first time doing this whole thing with the letting the audience come in. Check the chat for the link if you want to come in. We just got Simone in here, so not Renee, Sparkle and Lisa, y'all can mute. I'm gonna read a couple more of these comments because the comments been going crazy because we over here supposed to be sending love and reading love comments, and we over here getting political. But that's a good thing. That just means that Pam and I are doing our job because we making people think. Let me see.
Hey everyone. Can you hear me?
Hey Simone. Simone is joining us from London. So it is approximately, is it 8:41 p.m. there now?
Spot on. Yeah.
Okay, so it's nighttime where she is, so we can't hold her hostage for too long. But let me just find a few more.
It's not too bad.
Oh, yeah, true. It is Saturday. Let's see. I don't like the. All right, I feel like we read all these comments. Okay, I was down here. All right, so Erica is saying that the bots flooded on X were cleaned up by Twitter after Trump election, but they've been freed up by Elon Musk. That is true, because Elon Musk, there are no more community standards. You have porn on there now, and you can't do anything about it. So you're right about that. That might be why they called it X, because it's just a dark hole of craziness now. If somebody said you don't have to read, you could have the app read it to you. That is true. That is true. So the 3-minute read, you don't even have to read it yourself. Now the question is, are you going to understand what you're listening to? Because you got a lot of people that don't connect the dots when you're talking to them. They hear what they want to hear. Okay, I think we're down. Jackson 5, yep, they were all chocolate until Michael turned white. Denise, you can probably DM me on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, send me a DM. I'm Danny Does Law on Twitter. Just DM me all that stuff there, and then I'll create an episode around it if you want to join me, because I'm not. Yeah, Monty, everybody black again. I got a couple of cousins that marry white men, but the black genes are strong. But my Oma, obviously my granddad was from Trinidad, so he was black. And then all her kids married black people, and so the kids just turned black again, me included, right? So we're just all black again. That's what I meant by everybody's black again. Because, you have a biracial child that has children with a black person, and then the children are just black people, regular black people again. And then if they have children with black people, then their kids are even blacker. So it's just, it's just, that's what I meant by that. All right, so we got Simone in here all the way from the UK. I can't wait to meet you in June, Simone, when I get there. I'm spending 3 weeks in the UK, and we're already planning our shenanigans. And can't wait to meet you in Hines when I get there.
Yes.
Where you? So basically, this show was to show Jonathan some love, and it turned into a political. We're an hour and 43 minutes in, and I have yet to read any of the tweets or comments, but that's coming next because I literally have to leave before 5 o'clock, so I got about another hour and 15 minutes with you guys, and I have a Zoom at 5 o'clock. But share some love, some positivity about Jonathan.
Sorry, say that again. It cut out. And hi, Monty. And hi, Pamela. You know who I am.
Did you hear? I was saying we're just sharing some positivity to Jonathan. Anything you want to say as a fan, as a supporter?
Wow.
Did you say Pamela?
Well, I did say Pamela. Shh. She knows what I mean. Hi, sweetie. So I'm part of the Jonathan Majors fan club. Could you tell me, was this fan club on Instagram back in February?
No,
'Cause I
though
was
all the
following.
Instagram pages, those are all other fan pages, and it seems like they're not very active. They don't post anything.
No,
They shut down and then
J
redone.
Slim Majors fan page, which is his biggest, is active again. And
Oh, it's
she
active again. Okay.
has been posting a lot in the store. He or she has been posting a lot in the stories. She has not posted, but she's been very active in her stories. So
Okay, I was
Okay.
following that
okay.
last year. So yeah, I'm a fan. I've my first Jonathan Majors movie I saw. Well, it was a TV series. It was Lovecraft Country back in 2020. And then the following year came out with the Five Bloods, and I watched that because Delroy Lindo was in there, and Delroy Lindo has a connection with the area I live in.
Yeah,
The
he was
family
born
live
in London, wasn't he?
Lewisham, actually. Yes. Well, he wasn't born
Mhm.
in London. He might be, but his parents and his family's from Jamaica, and there
Jamaica,
is a
yeah.
Lindo family here as well. So I would love to meet
Mhm.
that man one day. And obviously, I saw Jonathan there. And then fast forward, 2023, and I was roped in to watch Quantum Mania, and I
Me
realized that
too.
he was there.
I only watched
And
it for
I
him. I
was so
skipped past the
past
whole thing.
the film, and then Jonathan popped up, and I was like, "Ah, here we go." And then the writers
Right.
messed that up, but he was the best part of the movie for me, and I was hooked. And then I started going back. I discovered Last Black Man of San Francisco. I must have watched that movie every day for like actually up
Really?
until March 25th. So I probably started watching that. No. Yes, after I watched Quantum Mania, I was watching it all the way up until March 25th, and then I saw that headline, and I was like, "This must be a joke." And then I kept digging, and I kept digging, and I kept going. I went back into watching his interviews, and then I just I
Mhm.
was gripped because things that he says. My foundation is an artist. That's how I trained. That's what I got my major in. So when
Mhm.
he talks about his craft, I get it. I get where he's coming from, and I wish more people had that sort of passion about their craft. And let me tell you, like a lot of his interviews got me through my teaching degree last year because that was
Mhm.
rough. And listening to him on interviews really got me through. I had a adult late diagnosis, and that was rough. And his words got me through, all through last year's summer and into autumn. And
Mhm.
nobody's gonna make me hate him. There's nobody that's gonna
No.
make me hate this guy, because I feel that he's true to himself. He takes accountability. He's so thoughtful, and
Mhm.
I consider him a teacher more than anything else. I really do feel like he's my teacher in my head.
Mhm.
So I love you, Jonathan, and keep going. We're rocking with you. I'm rocking with you, and time's a healer, and yeah, where there's life, there's hope. Keep going.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have fans.
Absolutely. And he did say that if he wasn't an actor, he would be an English teacher. So I think
Yes,
that's why he speaks the way he does, and that he's so intentional with the way he speaks. And if you notice, he's very careful with his words.
Yes, he's very careful
Um,
with words,
mhm.
and yeah, he takes words. That's how I feel he builds his character. He thinks about the words a lot. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, but he did say he was going to be he thought about being a florist, and then he decided in the Creed interviews like an English teacher. I was like, well, yeah, of course.
Right.
So yeah.
But it's a ministry, teaching is a ministry. It's something that you have to be called to do, because it's not just getting Christmas break, summer break, Thanksgiving break, all the good breaks off. It's literally something that you have to you're pouring into people. And that's what made me gravitate. Obviously, I was trying to be on my kids' schedule too. That was my initial intent, was I needed to be on the same schedule as my kids. And it worked out that I was able to use my MBA to get certified to teach business education classes, right? And once I got in it, oh my God, I fell in love with those kids. When I literally mentor at least about a dozen of them now that I still keep in touch with, because, you know, they've since gone on to other schools, college, or whatever. And I still keep in touch with them. I still mentor them. I still help them, some of them, you know, if they need money for something. You know, one of them I'm taking with me to California. 2 siblings I actually kept as foster children when their mom, you know, had an issue. It's a ministry, you know, more than just I like to teach and I like to talk to people and I like to tell people what to do. It's not that. And I was blessed to be able to teach the business education classes because they weren't a core subject. And so I had more time to actually talk to the kids and bond with them because it wasn't, you know, hinging upon them passing this reading exam or this math exam or this social studies exam to get to the next grade. You know, it was literally something to teach them, you know, computer skills and get them certified in certain software applications. But I had time to sit and talk to them and understand what they wanted to do in the future and help them kind of map out a career path and, you know, trying to link what I was teaching them how to write resumes and do PowerPoint presentations and speak publicly, because that was, you know, a lot of what my classes were. Entrepreneurship. And, you know, it's rewarding. So, Simone, definitely, when you're ready to start actually getting in there teaching, look at it like that. You know, look at it as you are making a difference in the lives. You have to understand, I don't know how many hours a day they go to school in England, but here they have to be in school at least 6 hours a day. So you have to understand that we spend more time with these kids than their parents do. Waking hours. We spend more waking hours with these children than their parents do. So we're surrogate parents in a way, you know. I was called mommy and auntie by most of my students, the ones, you know, and the worst kids, the ones that were the worst, that gave everybody the most trouble, their battery packs discharged when they came across my threshold because they knew not to play with me. And I even got those kids to act right, even if it was just for my class, you know. So it's a ministry. And I said that to say that might be why he said he would be a teacher, because he has that thing about him that moves people, that inspires people, that motivates people, you know, and it is a thing. It's a thing.
He's a magnet. I feel like he's a magnet. And he has the right mind for a teacher as well. Patience. He has patience. He's
patience. He knows how to.
He does teach. He has a couple of students himself. He said that he has his own student that he mentors and teaches. So.
It's definitely, it's a calling, and it's all part of that empath personality type. It's part of that, you know, that spiritual being personality type where you take on other people's emotions and feelings and hurts and needs. Derek is in here. Don't start your mess, Derek. Where's I thought I saw you on camera. Are you going to be on camera?
Yeah. Actually, no camera available. But my thing is that as a Black gay man, I have no attraction to Jonathan Majors. He's fine. He's cute. He's all that. My thing is I don't have an understanding of women who say that he's not cute, that they don't see anything attractive about him.
Meanwhile, they baby daddy probably look like probably look like Uncle Ruckus. That's the crazy thing is you calling people ugly, but you didn't have discernment enough to pick the right kid for your father. I mean, father for your kids, but you calling him ugly. Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking,
standards. It's funny how you have new standards all of a sudden.
Listen, Flavor Flav has how many children, and so does Gucci Man, and you're calling Jonathan ugly?
Little Wayne. Okay, we can go down the list of what's actually ugly.
But no, because there is one talk show host, she shall remain nameless, who had two other guests, who has two other co-hosts on her show. And she would always say Jonathan Majors is goopy looking. He's goopy
Who's
acting.
that? Nah, you got to tell me that. Put it in the comments then, and I just won't publish it.
I'll tell it. I mean, I can tell it if you want me to. Claudia
Who?
Jordan. Claudia Jordan.
Girl, man, listen. First of all, she's not even really a journalist. Aren't they on some little offshoot podcast nonsense? She another. Anyway, next.
Right, but like I'm saying, she's one of the main ones. So every time she started talking about that, click, turn off.
Yeah.
But my thing
But
is,
meanwhile, she was standing in her page.
Everybody in the comments are all co-signing with her.
Of course.
So this is why I'm like, what problem do y'all have with him? And like I said in my comment earlier, is that I have a play son, and he's a little bit older than Jonathan Majors. So when I see him, I see Jonathan Majors. So, and he's also he's a little goopy acting. He wears floods sometimes. His pants may be too big. He dresses off, just a little off all the time, but he does it on purpose though. He said that's his style.
Right.
So, and that's why I said, you know what? For Halloween, you're gonna be He Who Remains. I made the whole full costume for it. Fantastic.
Nice.
Pictures and everything. And I told him, I said, because he does have a complex about how he looks too, because he's also the same way. But
it's really weird to me because you got, I think it's Little Uzi Vert. Is that who it is that's dressed crazy like that? And nobody says anything. But Jonathan Majors wears some 80s retro Reeboks and some 80s retro sweatpants. And we got to talk about that for 3 or 4 days. And it's clear that he was deliberately channeling the 80s look with the entire outfit, down to tucking the sweatshirt into the sweatpants. But it became fodder. But you got Little Uzi Vert out here. You got, who else dresses crazy?
You have Lenny Kravitz. There's a number of men who just dress ridiculous.
Prince.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything to say.
I think Jonathan does it to troll people because, as we said earlier, when he puts it on, he will put it on. And he's like,
because he clearly can dress.
I'm going to wear what I want, and y'all are going to talk, and I'm still going to be smiling in my picture and throwing up the peace sign. So, people, they just, and like we said earlier, they have to find something to nitpick about him. So they're going to nitpick his style. They're going to nitpick his facial features. They're going to nitpick that he purses his lips. I was literally at a party, and
but he has big lips. I purse my lips.
And girls were talking about his lips being pursed. And I'm like, and you're talking about them, and you have baby teeth. But we're not going to get into that conversation.
Right. You got lowercase teeth, but you talking about somebody's lips? Worry about them capital gums you got. Like, I'm confused.
Not capital gums.
Capital gums and lowercase teeth. And you over here talking about somebody's lips.
Oh, Danny.
Get out of here. Like, come on.
I'm using that. Oh, Daddy.
That's some people with them little short teeth and them big gums. Like, get out of here with that. So the universe says Lil Wayne is actively trying to be ugly. He ain't got to try, honey. He ain't got to try. He is actively ugly. But he's been activated since birth. Yes, we're wearing red on purpose, Derek, but for Valentine's Day and because red is Jonathan's favorite color. And we're wearing the beanies because he is known for wearing red beanies. Wesley, who is not Wesley, we know who this is. Why you change your name?
I'm trying to figure out how to sign in while I leave the grocery store and everything else at the same time.
Okay. Well, give your real name.
Terrence.
Terrence, this is Terrence. He's one of our top contributors along with Simone in the fan group. You're a little low, Terrence. So I don't know if you want to adjust your sound.
Where am I at?
You good now. I couldn't hear you before. Let's. All right, let me see. I'm trying to see with these other comments. Yes, we do not co-sign with the ugly narrative. Jonathan Majors is far from ugly. Jonathan Majors is an extraordinary person. He's someone who wants the cliches to move, and he's right. Provoke is good. Exactly. That's what people don't get. This man has been trolling, and it's hilarious. Exactly. And then they just take everything he says. That's how you know that you're a powerful person, if everything you say and do is being picked apart.
Stand 10 toes
down. You going in and out, hon.
Oh, it might be my Wi-Fi.
Okay. Trolls, folks, he was trolling when he called Megan Coretta. Exactly. He laughed right before he said it. And literally, the train is never late. Everybody jumped on it and spent 2 days talking about that. I was in there and riot gear cursing people out and blocking people on Twitter. But I'm done now. I'm reformed. I'm reformed. Yes. So lowercase teeth and capital gums. If you want to reverse it, because some people have lowercase gums and capital teeth. Mine are just right in the middle. 50 Cent had capital teeth and lowercase gums before he got those veneers put on. Let's see. Yes, let's see what else we got. Yes, he's nerdy and eclectic. I like it too. I love me a smart man, a man that reads, a man that writes, a man that does not try to look and act like everybody else. That to me, that's gold.
Yeah,
that's gold. Intellectual, can talk and have a conversation. A1.
In a world where everybody wants a Russell Wilson, they all chasing after Future.
And that's what's mind blowing to me too. Everybody's defending Sierra. Oh, she got her a king. I want me a Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is corny. Agreed. Right? By your standards, Russell Wilson is corny. He's the ultimate cornball.
Now wait, Annie, I can go further. They defended Sierra with Russell, but they went to Jonathan. Oh, he was with a white woman, and now he wants a black one. So is Russell Wilson.
And Russell Wilson looks half white. Homeboy got like bone straight Ken doll hair. I'm confused. I'm confused. He looks like a tanned Ken doll. I don't even know what Russell mixed with, but he ain't all the way black. So I'm confused, like, as to why he's not corny, but Jonathan Majors is corny. Okay, got it.
Because
y'all make no sense. That's why I keep saying that cognitive dissonance is real bad within the Black community. What we claim to stand for, we do the exact opposite. We say the exact opposite of what we claim we stand for. It's a disconnect between what we think we represent and what we're actually representing. She said Future don't even want Future, right? But right, he's his authentic self.
Like the man that's gonna be disrespectful, that's gonna demean them, that's gonna make them like you literally praise Nick Cannon, and he has made 12 broken homes.
Thank you. With not one, with one Black woman, actually. The rest of them, the rest of them. And he even said, Nick Cannon actually verbalized that having white women is a status symbol. That was his exact words. That it was a status symbol. Nick Cannon said that out of his own mouth. But nobody has anything to say about him going out here, dropping his old genetically screwed up baby batter everywhere, and
they praise him for it. That's the problem.
They're praising him for it. This dude has lupus. That's a horrible disease. My cousin just died from it less than a year ago at 39. He has lupus, and he's over here creating all these babies that can potentially have lupus because he feels like he's not going to live a long time and he should populate the earth at the expense of these children's health. And one of them actually passed away shortly after birth. I don't understand it. Okay, got you, TL. Because I was wondering, because I looked him up and both parents look black. That's why I was like, well, where did he come from? And why is his hair so straight? I couldn't figure him out. But all that being said, he has very black features. He has a big nose and big lips. Right? I thought that was ugly. Oh, because his hair straight, he gets a pass? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, Mariah don't want him, and I don't blame her because he's dirty now. And he got too much going on. The world is fickle. It's whichever way the wind blows. Yep, bandwagon behavior. It sure is. All right. Yeah, they're all at peace. Everybody's at peace. Yeah, Nick is wild for that. You can Google it. Just Google it. Nick Cannon, white women, status symbol. Just notice, and he said it on a podcast. It was said. It wasn't written down. He said it out of his mouth on a podcast about 5 years ago or so. All right, so let's get back to the positivity because we then went off on a whole. All right, so we're gonna read some, and guys in the chat, please put some more positive comments about Jonathan in the chat so I can put them up on the sorry, I'm drawing a blank on this screen, and then we're going to put some. We didn't do a whole lot of these because we wanted to give time for you guys to participate the way we're doing now, and obviously what we're doing now and talking about every and anything else. But let me put up this. Wait, am I doing this right? Here we go. Okay. So this actually came from Zach Catanzaretti. He actually comes on YouTube a lot too, and he's in the fan club. So he posted this 3 days ago, and I wanted to read it to you guys really quickly because it was really nice and it was touching. Please, guys, in the comments, we're going to stick to giving Jonathan Majors his flowers because this is a Valentine's Day episode just for that. All right. So Zach says, thought I'd share a fun story for those who like reading a little about Jonathan Majors. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. All right. In January 2021, I got a call to play in the movie Devotion as a Marine. I was initially signed for 11 days. I ended up shooting 23, and most of them involved scenes with Jonathan. I had been a huge admirer of his since late 2019 when I was cast in Lovecraft Country as an extra. In that show, I shot a scene with him in the Korea episode and got to see him break down crying take after take. It was fantastic. I was hooked. For Devotion, it was a big deal to see him again. What really blew me away was his preparation for simple scenes. We would be shooting on an airport runway for the aircraft carrier scenes, and he would be jogging back and forth down the runway until he worked up a sweat. He even got Glenn Powell, Joe Jonas, and the others to join him. Sometime later, I would look over and see him shadowboxing in the corner or jumping rope. This was before Creed, Kang, or Magazine Dreams. One day, he brought his daughter to set when we were filming on a battlefield. He had her up on his shoulders to show her around. He wasn't even in the scene. He just wanted to be there with her. Early in the movie, I befriended a fellow background actor who actually was Jonathan Majors' roommate from college. We bonded over that, and he promised that I'd get to meet Jonathan. After shooting the final scene of the movie, which involved Jonathan running full speed right into me by a mistake, I got to meet him formally this time. Talking with him was one of the biggest moments of my life. We spoke about Lovecraft and how I worked with him previously. He was soft-spoken, gentle, very present. He was kind enough to have a photo taken, and he put his arm around me. He shook my hand and after said, "Be good, bro. Be good." What a moment. He was certainly an intense person on set, and I truly cherished the time I had to see him do his magic. His dedication to the craft of acting was something to behold. This was very nice. We saw this 3 days ago, and it almost brought me to tears because he is really a nice person. It's not a facade. It's not convenient because of the moment or whatever you're talking about at the moment, and he has to put on for whatever that moment is, kind of like how Grossy Jabroni tried to claim that he was. He is genuinely a good person, and I can personally vouch for that. And this brought this home for me because Zach, if I'm not mistaken, Debbie, Zach just joined the fan club, right?
He's been in there, I think, a couple of months now, but he always
right. So he's
very, very active.
Yeah, he's pretty new and he's been really active. And this story really, you know, it touched my heart. I was like, wow, and it's obviously very well written. And this is the Jonathan that I saw in the courtroom. This is the Jonathan that other fans who have met him and, you know, posted pictures describe. This is the John. You understand what I'm saying? This is that Jonathan. He's a human before. And again, we have to understand and have perspective of how long he's actually been a household name. Only since November 2022 has he been a household name, meaning you say Jonathan Majors and right away, you know Creed, you know Quantumania, you know Devotion. That's what I mean by household name. Clearly, he's been working since at least 2017. But when I'm talking about known worldwide by people other than Black people, just since November of 2022, or let's say the press leading up to November 2022. So we're talking maybe a total of 14, 15 months. This guy has been like an A-list celebrity, only 5 months of which he was not dealing with this trial. So he's still a people person. He's still a man of the people. So we have to understand from that perspective, he's not at the point in his life where he can be, you know, out here acting like he's better than everybody or acting like he's untouchable because he's still grounded. He didn't even have time to get to that point, you know?
He's also very intentional, very, very intentional. He takes time to analyze the small things because, like in the fan group, before all of this, most of the things happen, he sent thank yous to his fan group. He sent two videos where he took the time out of his schedule and literally thanked his fans. Literally.
Yeah.
So anybody who is intentional, that humble, it's just ridiculous of how they try to paint people.
Yeah, and I think that's what bothers people, that he's so who he is unapologetically. And that bothers people. That bothers people because we live in an era where everybody's so fake and everybody's putting on for social media or putting on for whoever they're trying to impress, and everything is a facade. And when people are genuine, it bothers people. And that's even Pam, I'm sure you know Simone, Derek, Wesley, I'm sure where you work, you know that. You know, the people that are the fake people are bothered by the people that are the real people. The fake people are the shit stirrers, right? They're the ones that are always keeping stuff going and planting drama in the room. You know, they come in the room, everything gets heavy all of a sudden. You know what I mean? That's everyday life. So if you're like this in everyday life, imagine how you are with somebody that's easy to attack because you don't have to see them every day. You know, you sit behind your keyboard and say all the stuff that you know you can't say to people at work because you're going to get stretched. You know what I mean? So it's literally, the internet is a microcosm of what goes on in the real world, essentially. These same toxic, evil, mean-spirited, bully, you know, people are people you work with every day. And they just have carte blanche on social media now because they're faceless. They can just say and do whatever and act out and take out their own misery on other people. And so Jonathan has become a punching bag for some of those types of people, right? So here we have some. I love how vulnerable he always is willing to be. You can tell he's an emotional, gentle guy. he is, and he even said as much during the ABC interview as well, that he's an emotional cat.
Can I add to that?
Huh?
Can I add to? I think it was Winter.
Yeah, go ahead.
He says, "Allow your heart to break." You know, you need to feel these things to really experience it. So allow your heart to break every day.
Yes, absolutely. And that's you know, that's all we have left. You know, if tomorrow I hit Mega Millions, all we have left is our humanity. You know, our souls, our spirits. When you get to a point where you can have whatever you want in this world, this is why so many people that are wealthy, that do have everything at their fingertips, still end up on drugs, you know, pruning themselves from the timeline, ending up committed into, you know, psychiatric facilities, because it's more than just means. If you don't have your soul, if you don't have your emotions, if you don't have your mental health, you don't have anything. I say all the time, you cannot put a price tag on peace of mind, and you cannot. I would rather be living in a homeless shelter and have my peace of mind and my spirit intact than to have everything that I want and just be empty inside and be sad, you know, and miserable. And you know, I don't know. I can go on for days about that, but that's a lot of what's existing on social media is my point. Let's see any more positive. Juanita says it's the decent ones who are themselves that the industry people don't like. Yeah, they don't like that. They're used to the pretentiousness, the fakeness, the shucking and jiving. You know, that's what they want. And Jonathan is not that, because he didn't grow up with those type of parents. You know, he's not from that type of, you know, family structure where you hold your head down and you just yes boss people. And they don't like that. And you don't have to like it. He will find his place where he can be who he is and unapologetically and be okay. You know what I mean? I really like Jonathan Majors' performance as King the Conqueror and his variants. Yeah, very good. Very good. Like I said, you cannot, whenever he plays another character, he's that other character. You don't see anybody else he's ever played. And that's a gift. That's a gift in itself, because like I said, there are several actors out here that every time I see them in a movie, they're the same person in every movie, just a different movie, different name, same character.
And that character
just because they're popular doesn't mean they can act. Go ahead.
I was saying that the one thing that I enjoyed him in King the Conqueror character, is the fact that he's playing all these different people and their nuance.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they're the same person, I'm hearing myself. But, even though they're the same person, they're very, very, very nuanced.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I love it. You know me. You're not gonna ever get me to say nothing bad about Jonathan. Pam. So
he does his homework.
You ain't gonna never get me to say nothing. I was waiting for a response, but I feel like I can divulge this much, but nothing else. I did speak to him on the phone. He did. He did leave me a very nice. I actually missed the call, and
what? Daddy.
I'm full disclosure. I don't know if anybody in the fan group knows, but I nap a lot. I'm a napper extraordinaire, so that's something he and I do have in common, because he has discussed a lot that he loves to sleep, and I do too. But because like him, and I've shared this with Debbie, I have very vivid dreams, but that's part of the whole spiritual thing. I come to understand that. I have extremely vivid dreams where I can feel things, I can smell things. So I like to sleep. I just like to sleep. I was never that kid in kindergarten that you had to fight to get down for a nap. And it's just carried me into adulthood. I love to nap. I love to sleep. So when he called, I was actually, and I fall asleep really quickly. It takes me maybe 10, 15 minutes and I'm out. So when he called, my phone tells you the name. but I had the ringer on really low and it was mumbling. And I'm like, who the hell's name is that long that's calling me? And it kept going, majors. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I wasn't going to answer that first. And then I like kind of peeked. I was like, let me check my phone and see what this is. Lo and behold, it was him. So I was scared because first of all, I'm tired. And I'm like, all right, do I answer it? Do I just let it? So I just let it ring. And I said, well, let me see. I have an iPhone, but I haven't. I don't know how it. I think I subscribed through T-Mobile for the caller ID thing. And so it tells me who's calling whenever they call, if their caller ID label is on the thing.
It does.
So, yeah, so it reads the name. So I don't have to run to the phone. I can hear who it is and choose to ignore it or pick it up. So, damn, you funny. So I let it go because I was nervous, obviously. Because, like, what do you say? Hey, boo, like, what do you say, right? So I let it go. I'm like, I'm going to let it go to voicemail. I'm going to wait for it to go to voicemail, see if he leaves a voicemail, listen to it, and then I'll kind of formulate how I'm going to respond. Because, you know, this is not like your cousin. This is Jonathan Majors. This is the Jonathan Majors, right? So I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, dude is not leaving a voicemail. I'm waiting. I'm like, damn, where's the voicemail? So almost a minute goes by and no voicemail's coming through. So I just picked up the phone and I hit call back. So when I hit call back, he was like, hey, Danny. He was like, what did he say? He was like, hey, Danny, I was about to lead you a song of praise. And I said, well, we can sing it together because I sing as well. So, I was trying to do a shameless plug. I was like, we can sing it together. What you got? So he started laughing. He was like, amen. I'm not going to tell you the whole conversation, but basically I'm saying that to say, and I'm also putting it out there so that when you hear me defend him or say things, you're not thinking I'm just being some fangirl that's just like riding, because this guy is genuine. When I tell you, I felt like I knew him my entire life. That's how the conversation went. He did end up leaving a voicemail, but it was 45 seconds long. And had I not picked up and called him back, it probably would have been 2 or 3 minutes long because he was talking that much. But the voicemail basically said, we're friends now. That was one of the first things he said. He was like, this is Jonathan. He was like, we're friends now at this point. And then he says, I just want to thank you, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He said a lot of the same things on the phone. And like I said, the conversation just flowed like we had been talking on the phone for years, like we've known each other for years. It was not scripted. It was completely genuine. We laughed. He got a lot of my jokes. We vowed that we would never say the word grace again. So because, from a spiritual perspective, grace and mercy is one of the catchphrases, right? Anybody that's a Christian knows that grace and mercy kind of go hand in hand in a conversation. So that's when we pray. We say, God, we ask that you show us your grace and mercy. And so we decided that we're going to just stick with mercy. And so we joked about that. We told him about, toss a bitch out Tuesday. He actually repeated it and laughed. Very genuine person. Huh?
I said he was really amused by it and he liked it.
Yeah, because I did eventually conference and right before he hung up, I conferenced in Debbie. So we talked about a good 10 minutes before I conferenced Debbie in. And just a really kind and so we still stay in communication. So that's the whole point of that. And she said, I can wait. Juanita, you're going to have to wait for the whole convo because he told me he basically, he's okay. Let's put it that way. He's okay. He's not working. He's not doing, just sitting there twiddling his thumbs and crying all day. That's not what he's doing. So just know that, I plan on I plan on, getting his permission to divulge more things. And so I'm just waiting, to hear from him on that. But I just wanted to say that much because I'm assuming that he wouldn't call if he didn't expect me to repeat it. I'm just not going to repeat what we talked about. But I did, what I did tell you is just to say that he's okay. He's in good spirits. He's still working. He's not, because that was really my worry, especially after he confirmed that he battled with depression. I was like, oh my God. And I told him as much. I said, I was so worried that, because I said, I get in my own head a lot. And he was like, yeah, he agreed. And I said, I was just concerned that you were rabbit holing. And he was like, no, I'm okay. Thank you, for your prayers. Thank you for your support. So he's okay. So I want you guys to take what I'm telling you and be empowered by that and keep going hard for him. And if he gives me the permission, I will play the voicemail. It cuts off. And the crazy thing is, I didn't know he was leaving a voicemail because, like I said, most people will leave a voicemail. Hey, this is Danielle. Give me a call back. Talk to you later. Click. He was leaving a whole thing. So if I had not called him right back and interrupted him leaving that voice message, it probably would have went on for a couple of minutes. So the voicemail cuts off where he says, God has a plan. What did he say? God, because my text message is also transcribed terribly, but good enough that you can kind of figure out what it's saying. He said he cuts off right at God has a plan and God has a blessing, and then it cuts off because that's when I called. So I look at that from a spiritual perspective as being a sign too, that right at that moment where he's saying God has a plan and God has a blessing, I just happened to call him right back. And stopped him right at that point. So keep praying for him if you're a praying person, and it doesn't matter what your religion is, because again, the overarching theme is God, and that's who we're praying to, ultimately, God, right? Jesus is God. Allah is God. Whoever you pray to, God is the main the main theme in most major religions. So pray. Just keep praying. Keep supporting him. Keep going. Yeah, I almost died. That was the thing. That's why I didn't pick up the phone. The universe is an Aries like me, so we go hard. But we're also teddy bears too. I go from 0 to 100. I don't have any in between. So I'm either really hard or I'm really soft. And that was a soft moment. I almost kissed the gates of heaven when I saw that pop up on my screen. I'm texting Debbie. I'm doing everything but answering the phone. Debbie's not answering me. I'm sending her screenshots of the phone ringing, the screenshot of the thing saying accept or decline. I'm like, Debbie, I think Jonathan's calling. Answer the phone. Pick up the phone. She's not answering. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, do I call back? Because I can't wait too long, because then he might end up doing something and not answering the phone, and then we're going to play phone tag. So like I said, I waited as long as I could before it would have been too long. But that was because he was leaving such a long message that, I think, and the crazy thing is our phone numbers are very similar too. The first 3 digits are the same, and 2 of the last 2 digits are the same, which is weird. So I don't know. I'm very, I'm very, what's the word? I don't want to say superstitious, because that's not compatible with Christianity or most other religions. But I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, I'm superstitious in a Christian way, not in a, pagan way. But I feel like certain things happen for a reason, and that they exist a certain way for a reason. Because again, a lot of the stuff that he said, I've articulated on the fan group, to Debbie in private conversations. He literally said the same thing. And I did not post this anywhere.
I said it.
I said it today. I said that.
I don't know.
And Terrence,
And
whoever else might have been on
one of our viewing
party things.
And this is what I was taught. Christianity, transference of spirits. Good and bad. Spirit, spirits, you went round trip. Right, and it travels. It could travel. You're standing next to somebody. It could travel. It could types of music. It could travel. Types of things.
Danny, you sound.
Huh?
You sound like a robot. Your sound.
Am I?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just me. I thought I had to check.
Oh no!
Yeah, it sounds like the audio is halfway out. I can hear you, but it sounds like you're talking from a parallel universe.
I see your mic messing up because it's sounding like it's reverbing. It sounds like reverb.
And scratch.
Yeah.
Pamela.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
you see
Me now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're better. You're much better.
See how the devil busy, right? I was
Yeah.
doing fine until I started talking about that spirit realm. I'm telling you, the devil is busy. But I'm saying that to say, I believe in transference of spirits. He alluded to as much. He said, I feel the energy through the I think he used the word through the technology, because he's very proper. But basically saying the same thing that I've been saying, that energy travels. It travels through. And when it's right, and then when it's good, you're going to be attracted to Pamela Lambs.
We are the Pamela. Well, yeah, I'm a Pamela. I'm the first member of the Pamela. I'm
the Pamela Lambs. Oh, it's like the beehive. The barbs. Oh, yeah.
Because I said I needed to have a name, and then she said Pamela. I was like, oh, I like that, and I wrote it down. I remember that because I wrote it down.
One. Hashtag Pamela Lambs. I don't know what I'm gonna call my people.
We all Pamlams.
I'm reading the comments, Erica. I'm sorry, I didn't see the comments, but now y'all can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I had an external mic because earlier my computer mic was acting up, so then I changed to. But yeah. Hey, Kat. Not sure if you want to come on. I only got about 30 more minutes because I got to get on a Zoom at 5:00. But Pam says my throat would have closed up and I would have had a whisper. Let me tell you, when I picked up the phone, he started talking right away. Because that's another reason why I was nervous, because I was like, will it be like weird, awkward silence? And we're just like, okay, hi. So he started talking immediately. So as soon as I picked up and he was like, Danny, I was like, hey. When I tell you, I have never in my entire, other than middle school and high school, when you have a crush on somebody, I've never been at a loss for words. And all I could say was, hey, literally like that. Hey.
I had to pull over when she conferenced me, and I had to pull over because I could not believe it.
He took the lead and held the conversation down, because I just was like,
I could not believe it. She was like, answer the phone. So when I did answer,
yeah, because I
pulled over because I'm like, you have got to be kidding. And just like Danny said, guys, that conversation flowed seamlessly. He's like, hey, Danny, and when Danny was trying to surprise me on who was on the line, because I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That is not him. He was like, hey, Debbie girl. I was like, oh God.
Very, sweetheart. And like I said, we're still in contact. So, like I said, he's just a really genuine, nice person. And I want to humanize him for you guys above and beyond what we see on TV, what we saw on the ABC News show. He's a real person. He's not just, Jonathan Majors, the celebrity, the it guy. He's a real down-to-earth, nice, cool person. Hey, Kat, I'm not sure if you want to join, but I only have about 25 minutes. Girl, fan, I don't know what I was doing. I have no idea what I was doing at my big age, but it was nice. And I'm just glad that the conversation flowed to where, yes, exactly, Erica. I believe in spiritual gifts. I am a recovering Pentecostal, but I still do have my foundational beliefs. I just can't get with all the, theatrics. But I typically do non-denominational now, but I still have all my foundational beliefs. And yes, I believe in discernment. I believe in transference of spirits and energy, good and bad. And I believe that this guy is anointed and gifted. And this is not talking as a fan. I'm talking as a human being, because again, I did not really know who he was. I saw him in The Harder They Fall. I saw him in Lovecraft Country, but he wasn't on my radar like that. I didn't even join the fan club until after I saw Creed. So that's just telling you that it wasn't even thank you. Me too. Originally we started at Bible Way, which is Kojic. Then I went to Assemblies of God. And yeah, Assemblies of God was a little less heavy, but still people running around the church and laughing in the spirit, and 5 hour, 6, 7, 8 hour church sessions. It was a lot. And so, I'm more into the hour and a half Saturday services now, but, still got my same foundational beliefs, still, do what I do based on what I was taught. But I said that to say that what drew me, Pam, is really what pushed me, because I'm really big on accountability. And when somebody, actually it was Flavio, he kept DMing me, you need to go on this YouTube, we need to go on that YouTube. And I couldn't stand YouTube because my kids would watch it all day. I'm like, how can you sit here watching YouTubes all day? I don't have the attention span for it. So my YouTube was literally just there if I needed to know how to fix something, because I'm very hands-on with things. I like to fix things and put things together. That's all I use YouTube for. If my sink got clogged, unclog it. If I need, I did a whole new shower thing for my shower in my master bathroom, I YouTubed it. That's what I use YouTube for. So when Flavio kept pushing me to go on Pam's thing and everybody else's thing, I said, okay, let me go on, because she is talking about Jonathan Majors. I want to make sure she ain't slandering my man. So I was like, I'm going to go on here. I'm going to see if she talking smack about my boo, and I'm going to have to check her. So I went on there. I'm joking, but I went on there just to see what all the hype was, because he kept saying, oh, she's really good. She's saying this, she's doing that. And so I went on, and I just was in the chat. I was just in the chat, saying things. And I said, I don't know if she mentioned it or she opened the door to it. It'd be nice if somebody could go to the trial. And I have been battling with it, because I was like, they keep rescheduling everything. They just did jury selection. I'm not trying to go up there and deal with them rescheduling things and canceling things. I don't have time for that. And I said in the chat, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go. And Pam was like, yeah, you should go. And I was like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that, because I would not have gone if Pam didn't hold me to it. Because I'm the type of person, I stick by my word. I'm a person of my word. And I never tell somebody that I'm going to do something that I can't do. And if I feel like I might not be able to do it, I will qualify it with that. I will try my best. I'm not sure. But I didn't do that with that. So I had to stand by my word, and I did it. I did not know if I would be able to get into the courtroom. I've never done that before. I thought it was too high profile for them to allow the general public, but then I came to realize that it's actually a law that they have to allow the general public in. I got there that first morning, and I was the only person in line. And I said, this is a sign that I'm supposed to be here.
And I said that to Danny when she was on the phone with me. I was like, that was your mission. I believe that was your mission from God, for you to be there, because you provided concrete, non-biased evidence throughout that trial. You were there firsthand. You were there to call out the BS. Literally, God placed you there for a reason. And I said this to you before, like, you have a mighty blessing on your way for everything that you do for Jonathan. Like, I have the fan group. You was in the trenches. I was like, look, go to Danny. Ask her. Go to Danny. And just beyond the fan group, you're also a great person. That's why I call you my big sis, because you show up, and you show up and you're with a person when they're right, and you call them out when they're wrong. And that is wonderful for a person to be that way, because it's not a lot of people that's like that. They will amen your BS, but you were like, no, we're not going to do that. So not only are you a great Jonathan Major supporter, you are a great friend. And I give kudos to you, darling, even for all of this, because you pulled me in this live. I had no intention of being in this live, but only because of you, for everything that you do, for every time that you show up, because you show up not for just a fan group, you show up for me personally, and we know what we talk about personally, but you also show up for others. So that's one of your callings. You talked a lot about your spiritual gift. That's one of your spiritual gifts as well. And that's where we connect with that acts of service and that, the intercessor spirit, the watch hour spirit, So I just want to say that, because I have about 30 minutes before I have to go. But I wanted to make sure that not only that we give Jonathan his flowers, we give you yours as well.
Thank you. And the crazy thing is, I've only known Debbie since March.
Since March.
Yeah. And I feel like I've known her my entire life. And that's part of when God connects you to people. Say that again, Pam.
I was saying I truly want to piggyback on that, because it is always refreshing, because I feel like I'm a person who is of their word. And, I did this YouTube channel because of consistency. After my father died, I wanted to do something. And I remember when you said that, and I remember saying, I'll pay for your lunch one day if you go.
Yes, and she did.
And I had to make sure that I put that through there. But I will tell you this, Danny, if you haven't realized it yet, is just that particular act of service has shook up the media game. Now people are starting to understand and to realize that people hunger for unbiased truth. Just tell us the truth. Tell us don't give us these little blurbs and then make it seem like that's what we're supposed to just take. We are no longer we are no longer digesting the food that you give us. We are out here planting our own food and growing our own stuff and coming to our own conclusions. And I mean, I have seen it even on this app, how people, first everybody, when you would go through other people's YouTube page, they would argue the headlines. And baby, when I would swing back in them streets, I was like, oh no, because I know some person who was in there and they were saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. And then they're looking at me like, that wasn't reported. I said it wasn't reported by those 18, 19 people sitting over here, but it definitely was reported by another person, a non-biased person who's in the courtroom, just telling you what it is, good, bad, or indifferent. Because I remember days when she was like, oh, I don't know about this, but let me just tell y'all what happened here. Oh, I don't know if that's going to be, but you shook up the game, because now the way court reporters are now being viewed, because, you had that one court reporter that was over in the Tory Lanez trial and everybody was revering. And I'm not trying to take anything away from that person, but you started to see that she even had to admit that there was stuff that she was talking about that was not the truth and not the stuff. We just want you to tell the truth. And when you tell the truth, and now when we talked about what we did yesterday or last night, and I had mentioned, it's not a lot of fanfare about all of this. When I go to the social media places and I go to the social things like this, Danny, I'm telling you, they're like, no, I don't believe that, because we know about this going on in the courtroom, and we heard this about the courtroom. They don't know your name, but they know the information that you have provided for everybody. And so that's why I was saying it's not as big as an explosive as it had been before, because now people are starting to see. And once that evidence came out and everything that you said matched what that evidence said, everybody was like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. this doesn't make any sense. Because before that evidence came out, you were battling with established journalists. And then my last little side note, because I know everybody says they have to go, is, isn't it interesting? All these journalists got laid off, and now all of a sudden they want to report the truth.
Okay. But what did I say?
The main journalist that has something coming for it, and I'm not wishing bad on anyone, but you reap what you sow.
Oh, yeah, she gonna get it.
The Cheyenne lady from the Rolling Stone, she has a reckoning coming.
Oh, she already knows. That's the reason why she got the DA to leak all of that.
Not only is she that way with Jonathan, she goes out of her way to be that way towards Black people. She did Meghan Markle. She did anything where she can just drag a person of color through the mud. She's the first one on it.
She's the one they go to.
Definitely going to reap what she sowed. Just watch what I show.
Oh, she's already reaping it, because she thought that by getting that leak on that article that she published for the Rolling Stone on Thursday, that it was going to get her wind in her sails. And you see how quickly that died out. Nobody even cares.
It didn't even be reposted by some of the major publications.
Nobody even cares.
You said, oh, their testimonies mirrored Grace Shapiro. Well, duh.
Because they already heard it and read the transcript. You know what I mean? So, anyway, thank you, Pam, though. I appreciate it. Thanks for encouraging me to get out of my comfort zone, because after that first week, I wasn't even planning on coming back into the verdict. But once I got there and I saw what was going on, I was like, yeah, I got to keep coming back. I have to keep coming back and staying, because it's not gonna get any better. And it didn't. They said we can find the stuff that went into the Bermuda Triangle. All right, before I go, I got about 14 minutes. Let me read some more of these fan club comments and Twitter comments. So Lauren Burke, everybody knows she's the she does some stuff for Roland Martin, and she has her own media presence on YouTube. She was saying they overlook all the evidence and facts on anything that is good for Jonathan. It's uncanny, from Grace Jabari being arrested to the body cam video with no audio to a witness defining Jabari as Psycho Girl on the stand under oath. And that is true. Audrey Whopper says, I hope every day that this situation will be resolved. Majors is just a victim of a media system that only wants to make news without looking people in the face. I hope that he can really go back to being an actor and be a man free from any media prejudice. Timothy King, who's also in our fan club. I don't know if Andrew is, but Timothy is. Father God, tomorrow morning, this was relating to the sentencing. Free Jonathan Majors from this chaos completely. Allow him to move on, heal, grow, shine, and be a light to himself as well as to others. Let no evil plan nor wickedness come near him. Protect him with assurance, peace, and enlightenment in Jesus' name. Amen. We had made a post a while back to send him some good words and wishes. The font is kind of small, but I will read it from what I can see on Facebook. We have, hold on. I'm sorry. I probably can see it on here. Sending love, light, and joy. We count it all joy. When we go through the fire, we will not even come out smelling like smoke. Stay positive. There's purpose even in this. That was Carletta Williams. Tisha Groom, AKA The Universe. I'm pretty sure I've written more than enough here already. All he's got to do is settle in with some ice cream and some other comfort food. Simone, who's right here already, she says, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stranger. That's from, what movie was that?
That was The Joker.
The Joker, yes. She says, I'm wishing you peace and laughter. All will be well. If you go into the fan club, all of these comments are up under the pinned post that sending him well wishes. There's a lot of comments. We stand with you. We believe in you, and we encourage you to continue pushing, because it ain't over until God says it's over. Wishing you peace, love, and a better 2024. That was C, the writer. Carmen Butler says, Jonathan and family, we believe you, we love you, and we are rooting for you. God will make your path straight. Have a blessed holiday season, because this was before Christmas. Carmen Easterling says, one thing they will never be able to do is take away the gifts and lights you bring to this world. Your talent is immeasurable. I've always admired the things you are able to do with the characters you portrayed, and it truly breaks my heart to watch others try and destroy God's plans for you. I'm honestly mesmerized by the work you've done, and I pray you continue to be encouraged and know we stand with you. Candy Farrier says, sending love and lots of prayers. This is not the end. God has the last say. Tamara Briscoe says, Jonathan, we are here standing with you, sending love, prayers, and hugs your way. Just remember, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Love you. I think I read this one already. Nikita Cherry Michael Thomas says, sending you lots of love and prayers your way. Like FDR says, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Keep your head up and remember, you've got this. Shanielle Canada says, sending love and light your way, dear Jonathan. I mean, there are so many. Like, again, we have about 15,700 members in the fan club. We only have about maybe 100 that are really active, but you can see all these comments under the thread that says sending well wishes is actually at the top of the thread, because I commented on it, I think, a couple of days ago. So it's pretty close up to the top of the thread. So if you do join the fan club, you can see that. Please, if you want to join the fan club, you have to answer the questions. The questions to, there's some questions, and you have to agree to the terms of use and whatever else, the rules. You have to agree to the rules of the group. I put the fan club link in the chat again for you guys that want to join. Kat is in the group. Monty says, yes, the truth. I've been telling people to go to Kat's YouTube for reading of the transcript. Yes, they're long. The videos are long, but it's because it's a lot. There's hundreds of pages of transcripts. But it is good stuff, because it again clarifies what I was trying to relay. And then it also helps you get more context to what was going on, and the fact that lady just wakes up lying. So I'm just putting some more of these comments up here. Anybody have any last words? Any last questions, last words? Because I have 8 minutes. I have to go on a Zoom now. I'm a busy person today.
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to shout out Chillmonger, because when this whole thing broke out, I was lost. I just couldn't believe it. And I came across Chillmonger's video very early on. And I was a silent listener for a long time until I started commenting. And it was so good. I'm so happy he had the chest to say the things that I was thinking, and he got on there. So thank you to him. Dre as well is another one. I've been a listener of his show as well. That has kept me going. And Kat's transcripts and her lives, she's doing an amazing job at covering these transcripts. Pam as well. It's always fun being on Pam's live. Danny, you had me waiting after trial like an expectant father, like to hear everything that happened that day, so I could use it on X and literally chop down any false comments or false ideas that they were having. Like, it really fueled me, it really kept me going. And you have a fan and I really admire the strength you showed, because it really helped. I really felt like I was in it. I mean, obviously I didn't go to trial with him and I didn't feel those things, but I really felt like I was going through it. It had me trapped as well, this whole thing. So I feel like my life couldn't move on as well.
Right.
For me, Jonathan's movies is one thing. That's him practicing his skill and craft. But those interviews, and I'm going to keep saying, is where I feel deeply where I felt deeply about his words and how he is and his being, and it really is an inspiration for me as an ex-artist, but now an English teacher, but just for life. If you listen to Jonathan's interviews, go back and listen.
Listen to him.
Yeah. He pours his life into it, but it's more than just having those skills. You use them. You can use these things to, when you're having a bad day, or when you're second guessing, a project that you're doing, or you want to start something, like, listen to his words. To me, every other actor out there is mediocre. It's too late. He's changed the game. There's no going back. There's something missing without him.
You can't undo his work. It's done. He said it. He was being funny in one of his interviews. He was like, "You're gonna remember me." So he meant it, and he meant it. Like he just said, Simone, it's we miss him. It's like we're all like, bring him back. We don't want to see the rest of these people. Bring him back. It's like the world is missing one of his brightest stars.
He's a bright. He's a force of a human
He's a force.
being.
He's definitely a force.
Out of everything. As a human being, he
everything, not just the acting thing. I think it's more him than it is his acting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because
acting is just a manifestation of who he is as a person.
He even said he tries to do very little acting. He said he was like, I don't want you to look at me and say, "Oh, Jonathan is acting." No, he wants to embody each role. What did he say? He said he looks for, excuse the French, this is his words. He said he looks for the horseshit in it. Where can he heal from it? What can he change from? Is it something that can change him? So that's why he has all of these amazing roles, because he studies the roles and he transforms into these different characters. And just like you said, Simone, you have to watch the interviews to see Jay. Because you cannot tell who Jay is through his characters. You have to watch all of his interviews. Like you said, Simone, I watch more than I like to admit, literally.
So when this, like, did you see this? I'm like, no.
When this nonsense broke, I was like, there's no absolute way. None. And just my final thing, and I'll go back on mute. Throughout this whole ordeal, and I'm so grateful to Danny that I got to tell him this. I carried Jonathan in my spirit. When that stuff was coming out, I got physically sick. I just felt physically sick because I'm like, this cannot be true. Yeah. It cannot, to a point where I had to lay him before the Lord. Like, is this idolatry? What is going on? Why am I feeling this so profoundly? And when he was like, Deb, I just thank you so much. Well, Debbie girl, that's what he called me. He was like, I just thank you so much. And I feel everything that you said. It's just, he's going to come back in a mighty way. And I can't wait to see it. And I'm going back on mute now.
and thank you, Monty, because I got to go. But thank you, guys. I want to thank, anything you want to say, Terrence? I want you guys to just keep him, again, even if you don't pray, just send him positive energy, positive vibes. Get on those social media platforms. Fight for this man. Because this is like somebody said in the comments, you see him as somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's dad. This is a human being. Again, he has not been famous long enough to see him as anything other than a human being that got a really messed up situation happen to him. You know what I mean? So put yourself in his shoes, because right now he's me and you. He's not Jonathan Majors anymore, right? For all intents and purposes. He's me and you. So fight for him the way you would fight for yourself or want somebody to fight for you if you were in the same situation. Yes, Kai, let me tell you. So real quick, when he called, I was in my bed because like I said, I was taking a nap. And my youngest daughter thinks I'm completely nuts. She's the one that does all my editing and my video stuff for YouTube. And I had him on speaker and I said, and she was like, I'm like, yeah, so you still think I'm crazy? So, yeah, exactly, Kai. We ain't crazy. This man, he's legit. Exactly. You got to take a break sometimes because people are nuts out here. But don't let them deter you because, again, it's only a handful of loud and wrong people. Most people feel the way that we feel. All right. Thank you, guys. I put some hashtags in the comments that we want you guys to try to get circulated over social media so that when you are saying positive things about Jonathan, that those hashtags, when they get clicked, your comments will come up. Not guilty. Jonathan Majors, justice for Jonathan Majors. I still stand with Jonathan Majors. I stand with Jonathan Majors. I support Jonathan Majors. Use those hashtags. And I don't even care if you're cursing somebody out. Put the hashtags in there because that'll draw them to your profile and draw them, to seeing the truth about Jonathan. Thank you, Dutty K. I had to say that with an accent. Thank you.
Hey, there it is.
I don't know if you're talking in patois or if you're talking in regular English, but Dutty K, thank you. And like they say, the empty vessels make the most noise, right? So
come through.
Don't listen to those empty vessels. You listen to us and people like us, and let's be the loud majority. Don't let the loud minority control the narrative. Okay, because this is a human being first. This is a Black man first, and we have to support our own because they out here, they're not supporting us. They teaching us to hate us. Mm-hmm. You understand? So let's do it. Let's stay supportive. And I gotta go, y'all. But thank you. I love you guys. I will try to do another live or something next week.
I can't wait for the next one.
Yes, and I will see you guys. I'm gonna try to do more live streams, and that way it's more personal. All right. Y'all have a good weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless everybody. Yes. And thank you for coming. And thank you for supporting Jonathan Majors. Yes, power to the people.
Red beanie gang.
Right, the red beanie gang. Get your red beanies. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.